available. They're waiting to give you all the information, our experts. So yes, topic today as transitioning, right? Listen carefully, listen carefully. Um, it's transitioning from university to professional life, right? And as someone who is a professional in my space, I'll give you a short of my story. I don't know if you do mind. So when I transitioned from college, because I'm a product of college, um, that's when I saw that I don't know anything. Yeah, no. And this transitioning, it was very much stressful because of now that's where you meet your peers that are doing very much good, and there's pressure, and we all coming from different backgrounds, and that's when you can see that we are not the same, right? And as we aren't the same, we we need we need to sorry we need to work on making sure that the first thing that we do is character development, right? How do you develop your character to be able to handle the environment that you are tapping into? Because I always say environment is the master of every mindset. Doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. If you are with soccer players, eventually you'll kick that soccer ball, right? And yes, you are in that environment, academia, and there's different information that is also in university, and that is very much helpful that you will take after school. So let's say now, how do you establish yourself and how do you show your expertise, right? You need to network with your peers and industries. And now, how do you do that if you're shy, right? How do you do that if you can't have the communication? So that's when you'll have to see that you yourself, you are part of transforming. It's like Dragon Ball Z right now. You are transforming to your higher self, right? In a way that you're going to a fight. So you're going to a war. So life is war. And by war, I mean it's everyone, for himself or for herself, even though it's not a nice feeling, but we do have those support structures that are there. And without wasting further amount of time, I can see yeah, I'm going to 10 past. I don't know what the first speaker, but then so far, what can well, I don't know if I can ask you um what time is our first speaker? Is it 10 past 4?
Okay, I will share my screen so that you can see the speakers' names on screen, and that could help you out.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course. All right.
Ooh, awesome. So Fahima, I personally graduated with Fahima at Yali. We are part of online 19. So shout out to you. Big up, big up. So let me read Fahima's bio. So Fahima is a public health professional with a background in health sciences and extensive experiences in humanitarian work and crisis management. Ooh, we need more. We need more of that. Yes, she's also the founder of the Aqua Care Initiative, as she's focusing on providing sustainable water solutions to underserved communities. It's beautiful. She has led and collaborated on various projects across Africa addressing public health challenges and advocating for social development. Wow, that's a very great bio. I personally thought um uh Fahima is into entrepreneurship, So yeah, no, my guess is not as good as I thought it is. I don't know, do we have Fahima? Um okay. Um then we also have Edward Nkata, who is like the final year student and is an entrepreneur. So he's from Malawi. At and yeah, sorry. Mr. Edward Nkata is a final year student at the Malawi University of Sciences and Technology, pursuing both bachelor's in arts and engineering. Hmm, I've got questions for arts and engineering, which is dope. I've got questions for you. And he's also an entrepreneur with expertise in agribusiness, renewable energy, and a public speaker too, serving as the CEO of NE Coin Farms, a venture focused on sustainable farming. Dope. Elliot is also passionate about cultural preservation. Ooh, okay. I love that. Now here's our final speaker, who is Ms. Charlotte Ajiko. I think I pronounced it nicely. So Charlotte is a statistician by profession. She's an award-winning agripreneur recognized by Alliance Switzerland due to her commitment in promoting sustainable food systems globally. Wow. Through her mentorship with her Jim Leach Mastercard program, Tony Lemulu Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative University, and University of Kigali in Rwanda, she empowers entrepreneurs globally to launch successful, impactful ventures worldwide and has contributed to the success of over 1,000 startup ventures through her mentorship roles globally. Oh, wow. That's powerful. Okay. Oh, wow, that's powerful. That's wow. 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 Shout out. Okay. Now here are my general questions. So the first question is for the first speaker. So yeah, what are the challenges and opportunities of transitioning from university to the workforce? So I don't know if we've got all our speakers. Yes, we do. So our first speaker is Fahima. I can see Fahima is here, and I can see Fahima's already unmuted her mic. I don't know if you are ready, Fahima. Are you here?
I am here. I'm here. Am I audible?
Loud and clear. I can hear you perfectly. You are audible.
Great. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And with reference to the question that has been asked, Kwame Nkrumah once said, action without thought is empty and thought without action is blind. This balance between thinking and doing reflects the challenges that many graduates face when transitioning from university to the workforce. While education prepares us with knowledge, it's action that truly allows us to navigate this new chapter. So today we are going to explore the challenges of this transition and the opportunities that await when we take thoughtful, intentional action. First, many graduates experience a mismatch between academic learning and real-world experiences. In university, we focus on theory and subject mastery, but in the workforce, employers expect us to apply practical skills and make quick decisions. This can create a very steep learning curve. Second, the job market is very highly competitive. With so many graduates vying for the same roles, it can be overwhelming to stand out, especially when you lack experience. Current statistics actually show that about 53% of recent graduates feel that they don't have enough experience to meet job requirements. Lastly, the transition involves adapting to new workplace cultures, navigating company politics, understanding workplace dynamics, and adjusting to professional expectations can be very stressful for someone who's fresh out of university. It requires a shift in your mindset, the shift from being a student to becoming an employee. And that can be very challenging. However, with these challenges, there are some amazing opportunities. First and foremost, when you're entering the workforce, you're being allowed to apply the knowledge and the skills that you've spent so many years learning. This is your chance to prove yourself in the real world and refine those skills as you go. The learning doesn't stop at your graduation, it evolves. Second, the workforce presents an opportunity to expand your network. You're going to be working alongside experienced professionals who can become your mentors, collaborators, or even future business partners. Therefore, building these relationships can open doors to new opportunities that you may have never imagined. Thirdly, this transition offers a unique chance to develop critical soft skills like communication, teamwork, as well as problem solving. These skills are not just for your first job opportunity. They are going to carry you throughout your career. So while it may seem daunting in the beginning, you should remember that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. As we navigate this transition, it's very important to remember the words of the Honorable Malcolm X, where he says, "The future belongs to those who prepare for it today." Every challenge that we face as graduates is an opportunity for us to prepare, to adapt, and importantly, to succeed. Your degree isn't just a piece of laminated paper, it's the foundation for your future. Now is your time to build on that. Though the workforce can be demanding, it is also a place of personal growth and professional development. Therefore, by viewing challenges as opportunities, we can take control of our own future and make lasting impacts in our careers. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, Fahima, I can see that you read a lot, you read a lot of books, and that was very much beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll also pose the very same question to the second speaker, which I believe is available because I can see. So our second speaker will be, I believe, is Charlotte.
Yes, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I hope you all can hear me clearly.
We can hear you loud and clear, Charlotte. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Greetings from Uganda, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on such an important topic. And transitioning from university to the workforce is a journey that's exciting and challenging for most young people out there. And you realize that one of the most primary challenges in our universities is a gap between the academic knowledge and the real world application. Let me give you an example of universities within Africa, especially in Uganda here as we study in our universities. You realize that most of the knowledge we seek from the university is more of theory knowledge to practical knowledge compared to what is waiting for us outside there. So most of our students are equipped with the theory part of knowledge, and they are not ready for the practical part of knowledge when they reach out to the workforce. So you realize that this is a challenge to most students out there. And I would really seek out that universities start coming up with the practical skills to equip the students so that they are able to reach out to the workforce and engage in this knowledge that is able to make them grow up. And another competitive nature is the job market. Most job openings are limited to young people compared to the other groups of people. You realize that most young people are graduating from the universities and they are becoming more of job seekers instead of job creators. So this means young people must distinguish themselves and develop soft skills and practical skills, especially when it comes to the technological bit of it, so that they're being able to become creative and be able to succeed out there. Despite the challenges we are facing in the universities, there are a lot of enormous opportunities for students to take up with, and this is entrepreneurship. Recently in Uganda, we have come up with most entrepreneurship sectors in our universities, and you realize that most of the universities are coming up with innovation hubs, which are enabling students to come up with these entrepreneurship skills. And I take it personally for myself, I found purpose in agripreneurship and being able to use innovative solutions into food security while creating employment for others in my company. And another opportunity we are currently having for our students is our learning resources. We currently have our online courses, our mentorship platforms, and providing an avenue for professional growth for these young people, which is enabling them to seek out opportunities. So despite the challenges we are having and enormous challenges we are facing for young people, I would like to advise these young people that we have enormous opportunities. Let's become more of job creators and not job seekers, so that we are able to succeed out there. And with all these opportunities, we can overcome these challenges. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was very much profound. We should be job creators. I just hope we are paying attention and listening, because of at this point here in South Africa, I believe the youth unemployment is 60%, and with other grade 12s, it's gonna increase, right? As they will be venturing into universities and college. So it's a very much scary statistics, and I believe that we need more initiatives where we'll be creating more jobs, right? And I also believe we need more professions than jobs, but that's a story of another day. And I have Mr. Edward Nkata, who is the last speaker that I will be posing the very same question. Edward, are you here?
Yes, Chef, I'm here.
Thank you so much, and you are very much audible. The stage is yours, Mr. Edward.
Yes, I see. Being a student at university and at the same time managing workplace, I have both experience being a student and someone who has worked with various people, various organizations. I feel we got a lot of challenges when transitioning from these colleges and going upward to the work races. So it's like upgrading yourself from being a student to a position where you need to be a reader. And we say as a reader, it's something that you create and manifest for better future and environment that we live in. So for you to create a better future and being someone who adds the value to the world, to the society and the community we live in, we face a lot of challenges. One of the challenges when we're transitioning is the skill gap. When we're talking about skill gap, many graduates face the challenges of aligning the academic knowledge with the practical skills demanded by the employers. Often in universities, we focus on the theory, but real-world job requires a hands-on experience in areas such as technical skills, problem solving, project management, and communication itself. So this becomes the difficulty in demonstrating the work-ready abilities that creates barriers during the job hunting and initial employment. So that's part of the challenge that a student face as they transition. Number two is like we are the navigating corporate culture. So it's like you adjusting to the workplace environment where the rules, values, and the expectation differ from the academic experience. So this can be daunting. A graduate must learn to deal with office politics, understanding hierarchies, and develop soft skills like teamwork, professional communication, and time management at the same time. So misstep in adapting to a corporate culture can lead to misunderstanding and stress. Yesterday, we're looking at building a professional network, which is each and every workplace has to be in a network zone whereby the graduate often lack the industry contact needed to secure the opportunities. Nowadays for you to secure opportunities, you need to have like a connection on the table. So graduates first have the problem of having some connections before entering into the professional life. So navigating their careers effectively, networking both online, e.g., LinkedIn, and in person is a critical, but can be challenging for someone new to the professional cycles. So developing connections takes time, can also feel very intimidating for recent graduates. So despite having some challenges, these workplaces or professional life got some of its own opportunities, which is as you transition to professional life, you gain practical experience. So the transition to workplace presents a valuable opportunity to gain hands-on experience that builds upon the academic, training, job, internship, as well as apprenticeships allows the graduates to develop in a real world skill, and it enhances the problem solving abilities and also build a professional credibility. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edward. That was profound. Thank you so much for also adding your experience there, also for I believe we are all learning, from our lessons that our speakers, they are sharing. So now I'll have some questions. That was like a general question. Now I have a question, strictly, firstly, Fahima, yeah, this question for you, right? Where it goes as, how can graduates who were not exposed to internships and work experiences start to build a professional network and find job opportunities? Can you please share that question with me? Thank you.
Okay, can I just need to share my screen. So just give me a moment. Okay.
No problem, no problem.
Can you please confirm that you can see my screen?
No, we cannot. I will ask my co-host here to assist with sharing off the screen so that Fahima can do the presentation.
Hi, Fahima. We can't see your screen yet. You can send me the presentation if that works for you, and then I can share the presentation on your behalf.
Wait. Okay, so should I send it on WhatsApp?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Can you please give
Could we
us a
maybe?
moment?
Okay.
What were you saying something?
I was saying that perhaps the next speaker can go and I go after them so that we don't eat too
Okay.
much time.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Okay. So Edward, here. Okay, no, they already started sharing. I don't know. Is it yours? Okay, no. So yeah, no. Here's a question now for Edward, which is, what are the common pitfalls during the transition to professional life? Mr. Edward, can you please unmute the mic and share?
All right. Each and every circumstance got its own challenges. Some pitfall before transitioning from university to this professional life. So life can be challenging in terms of experience, and many new graduates encounter common pitfall during this period. So first of all, that most of the graduates face is the underestimating the importance of soft skills. So what we're talking about the soft skills is that many graduates focus primarily on technical skills and knowledge, neglecting the development of soft skills such as communication, teamwork, and emotional intelligence. So neglecting these skills often land them into problems that they might affect their effectiveness in the workplace or in their professional life. So as these skills are often crucial for success in the workplace. So number two, I was also looking at something like lack of networking effort. Nowadays, networking plays a crucial role in our lives, daily lives, at workplace in the various forms. So some graduates fail to prioritize networking, assuming the job offers will come solely from the application. Building professional relationship can lead to opportunities, mentorship, and variable industry insights. So before diving into this professional life, they should also look at the networking effort. They should network with well-known people in the industry with experience, as application alone might not be found in the rate on the table. So they neglect this part networking effort. So number three, I'll be like not tailoring application. So most of these students, when it comes to submitting generic resumes and cover letters, it's a common mistake. Each application should be customized to highlight relevant skills and experience that matches the job requirement and the company culture. So you'll be looking at the graduating with some of the experience, I should say, like relevant skills that you have for you to be qualified into the job that you are applying. But you see that the application, you're not tailoring to the application, which becomes the most problem to the graduates when acquiring this professional life. So next will be like overlooking the job market reality. What are we talking about? Graduate may have an unrealistic expectation about the job availability and the starting salaries. So researching the job market and understanding the industry standard can help set them before a realistic goals. So most of them, they have like to focus on the salaries without researching much on the industry requirements or realistic be real on the industry. Another pitfall that most of the students encounter is that ignoring the company culture. Like I told them, the challenges that we have this corporate culture that you upgrade, like the work values before you enter in the work. So most of the well-known pitfall is that they ignore the company culture. So we're talking about accepting a job offer without considering the company culture can lead to dissatisfactions, which might lead into stress and anxiety at the work. So most of the graduates should evaluate whether an organization value and the work environment align with their own preferences and the career goal. So most of the students neglect this company culture. They just apply for the sake of having a secure job so that they get salary at the end of the end of the month, but forgetting the alignment with their preferences with the company culture. We're also talking falling into the imposter syndrome as the applying or the upgrading from university life into the professional life. So they tend to fall into imposter syndrome. Many new professionals experience imposter syndrome, doubting their abilities and the feeling inadequate. So you have this feeling that I'm incapable to handle the situation, to handle the workforce. Also leads them like values and the environment to align with their work preferences. So we're looking at the confidence and the performance in the workplace. So most of them they develop this imposter syndrome, which becomes more irrelevant or becomes the imposter to their lives. 7, we're looking at neglecting the professional development. Here we're looking at after the securing a job, some graduates might stop pursuing learning opportunities. As we're doing right now, we're pursuing the learning opportunities that we get the insights, we get to have the knowledge we have to from different industries. So most of the graduates, once they secure the job, they stop looking for other opportunities where they can learn, they can add value in the brain or to the workplace they're in. They'll just focus on the work, on the job they have. So they get to be limited in terms of knowledge, widening up their knowledge with their work place. So continuing professional development is essential for career advancement and staying relevant, rapidly changing to the job market that we all know. So the last 3 is that falling to seek the feedback, because each and every feedback is something that we tend to learn on, something that gives us the experience, that something that gives us the results on how we are pursuing, on how we're learning our goal or our career in the workforce or in the professional life. So feedback will tell us whether we're in a good track or we are in a bad track. So failing to seek feedback is a part of falling in someone's life. Like, you don't know where you stand, where your position is, where you're doing good or bad. So new professionals may avoid seeking feedback for the fear of criticism. However, constructive feedback is crucial for the growth and the improvement in the new law. So I encourage new graduates who has transitioned into new professional that they should consider feedback as the part in their work or in their career position, as it gives them the crucial or the clue whether they're on the good desk or they're on the bad reign. Thank you so much for the opportunity to express on this question. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Edward. It was profound. Just hope we are all taking notes. Fahima, I don't know if you are ready, but I do believe that the presentation is ready. So yes.
Yes,
you
I
can
am ready.
please take it then.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Can we please go to the second slide and the third slide? Thank you. It is said that tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. And I believe that no truer words have been spoken. This is just a little bit of inspiration from the Honorable Malcolm X. Mambo, Assalamu alaikum, kaifa halukum, Sanu Haruke Dumelang. My name is Fahima Seman. I am a public health professional from Pretoria, South Africa. I am the founder of AquaCare Initiative, which is a CSO focused on providing clean water via solar-powered water ATMs to underserved communities in South Africa and war-torn Sudan. I've worked with organizations such as the African Medical Students Association and the Council for Young Africans, focusing on research and advocacy in Minna, concentrating on Sudan. Currently, I'm a member of the Programs and Research Department at Operation Funda Fundisa Institute, where we've strengthened systems in education, social services, and public health. I also have experience with PCOS Challenge, where I assisted in developing their database, conducting research and literature reviews, while participating in health education initiatives. Furthermore, I am a proud YALI alumna, and I'm very passionate about sustainable health interventions, and I really do love connecting with like-minded individuals. Next slide, please. The Honorable Shahrazad Ali has said, you have to take ownership of your life. You cannot wait for anyone else to make things happen for you. This is especially true when it comes to building a professional network. For graduates who haven't had the opportunity to intern or to gain work experience, this journey may seem quite daunting. But the truth is that opportunities are not just given, they can be made. And today I would like to show you how. Next slide. First, let's talk about online platforms. Social media, in particular LinkedIn, is a gold mine for networking and job opportunities. You may not have the hands-on experience, but you can showcase your academic achievements, your projects, your research, or any other freelance work that you've done to potential employers, collaborators, or investors, depending on the projection of your professional goals. You should start by optimizing your profile. Make sure that your LinkedIn headline reflects what you have achieved and what you want to achieve. Connect with professionals in your industry, engage with their content, and share your own insights. One tactic that works quite well, next slide please, is reaching out for informational interviews. This is a very simple way to learn about a company or role while building a very meaningful connection. I have observed many professionals transition smoothly into full-time roles simply by actively engaging in discussions on industry forums, LinkedIn groups, and seeking informational interviews. These spaces are offering you the chance to display your knowledge and your curiosity, which can make you stand out greatly for potential opportunity, even without direct experience. Next slide. Next, let's explore volunteering and freelancing. Many organizations, especially the nonprofits, so the United Nations, WHO, FAO, as well as the IRFRC, etc., are looking for passionate individuals to help with their projects. Volunteering is giving you an opportunity to gain practical experience while expanding your network. And this, while you're doing all of this, you're also creating a positive impact. A personal example is when I served as the interorganizational director for the Council for Young Africans. I was involved in cancer awareness campaigns that aimed to provide free breast cancer screenings to young marginalized migrant women. It was not a paid opportunity. However, it taught me very valuable skills, broadened my network, and it led to opportunities that I'm currently benefiting from. Similarly, freelancing in your area of expertise can provide you with valuable experience. Even if it is not full-time, it can showcase your skills and allow you to build a portfolio. And once you have proven yourself in these smaller roles, they can lead and transition you into long-time fruitful work. Next slide, please. Another way to build a network is by joining industry groups or attending networking events, both in person and virtually. Professional associations and student chapters often host events where you can meet like-minded individuals and industry leaders. This summit is a very great example of this. This is a chance for you to connect with your peers and with people who are further along in their careers and can offer you mentorship or even provide you with job leads. Even if you do not have direct work experience, attending these conferences or webinars is giving you an exposure to industry trends and introduces you to potential employers. Therefore, I would advise you to be proactive in these settings. Do not be afraid to approach speakers or panelists after sessions, and make sure to fully introduce yourself and your credentials. Every conversation that you have is an opportunity for you to build a lasting connection. Finally, I want to emphasize the importance of mindset and persistence. Next slide, please. Building a network takes time, but it is possible even without prior experience. Do not let a lack of internships or work experience discourage you. Every step that you are taking, whether it's joining a LinkedIn group, attending a virtual networking event, or even volunteering, is a step closer to your professional goals. I would like to close by pointing out that I have presented this session from my phone. I conducted my research on the topic and composed my slides on this one device. I have done so with intent. Why? To showcase that opportunities don't always come neatly packaged or in ideal conditions. We create them by making the best of what we have at our disposal. Take advantage of the resources that are available to you, and do not be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. For graduates without internships, the same principle applies. You have the power to create your own opportunity through the networking, through volunteering, and using the tools at your disposal. So do not wait for an internship to validate your skills. Start building your network. Take small opportunities and pave your way into the professional world. I began with the Honorable Shahrazad Ali. Therefore, I believe that it's only right that I close with her. She says, it's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about taking action in the moments that you have. Today, you have taken action. Be proud of yourself. Thank you for your time. Once again, I'm Fahima Semanda. I open the floor to any questions or queries once the presentations are complete. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey, thank you so much. Hey, that was dope. That was, wow, that was powerful. That was powerful. Wow, that was powerful. Thank you so much for that beautiful presentation. I just hope you guys heard. If you've got any questions, can you please type them there on the chats? I'll read them. If you've got any questions for any of our speakers so far. So I believe our last speaker is Charlotte, right? With this personal question, which is I'll read it for you so that everyone can also hear. So your question for you, Charlotte, is how can graduates manage stress and avoid burnout in their early career? Can you please take it through? The floor is yours, Ms. Charlotte. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for this wonderful presentation, Fahima, and thank you for that great moderation. This is an amazing question. How can graduates manage stress and avoid most during their early career? Transitioning from student life to professional life comes with many new responsibilities, as well as challenges and expectations. So one of the most important aspects as a student in university is you're supposed to set realistic expectations and write down your goals from the moment you join your campus life. What are you passionate about and what would you like to achieve? Embracing a growth mindset. How do you want to view challenges and setbacks as failures, and how are you going to come up with these opportunities, and how are you going to come up with solutions to overcome these challenges? Building a support system. Let's talk about your circle. This can be your mentors, your professors, and people you look up to, your inspirations, as well as seeking for professional development. So I could give you an example from my personal aspect that during my university life, one of the things I did was set out clear goals. I did not only focus on the academic bit of it, but I reached out for the soft skills, leading me to that's including the digital literacy skills and how I managed to develop my entrepreneurial career during the university and engaging in entrepreneurial activities. So as during your university life as a student, one is to look out for opportunities. Let's say you're doing a particular course and maybe you're passionate about let me say agriculture, or you're passionate about entrepreneurship. You're going to you don't need to only focus on your academic part, but you need to go out there and look out for opportunities. Seek out for mentors. We have a lot of mentorship programs, and one thing I would like to tell you all is to apply and not be scared that this application is difficult. Let me give you an example of someone applying to Harvard University, or perhaps you're going to be scared they will not accept me. But out of the 1,000 students out there, you might even be the first person to be accepted during that application. So looking out for opportunities and applying. Let me say during applying for job applications, not only job applications, but looking out for grants opportunities, scholarship opportunities, and many more. And then learning new skills. I must say during my university life, I set out on, let me say, leadership skills and advanced on new skills. Let's say we have a lot of learning platforms and online platforms where you can learn Coursera courses, as well as look out for digital skills. Most ladies are engaged in STEM, and STEM, this can also enable you to build a good career path, as well as adaptability, adapting to new changing environments, and on how you're going to adapt to new skills and adapt to these soft skills, as well as developing your passions. One thing you need to know is that what are you passionate about, and what is that you want to achieve in whatever course you're doing, whether you're doing you want to become a lawyer or a doctor. There's always that passion in you, and once you discover it, you're going to set out clear goals. And also engaging in a lot of leadership programs during your campus life. Get in your communities, what are you doing to help your communities, and what clear example are you setting out there, as well as ensure to always attend seminars and conferences where you can use this opportunity to network with like-minded peers and know what you really need. So during your university life, you're going to look out for those opportunities, network, attend conferences, apply for what you really want to. And when you're looking out, there are many programs you're really applying for, but you need to discover what leadership program is clearly aligning with your passions and your goals that you're going to benefit from. Let's talk about, you have programs like Yali, and you see that it's really shaping your leadership path, and it involves also the entrepreneurship bit of it. We have programs like the Mandela Washington Fellowship. I'm an alumni of the Gimlet MasterCard Fellowship, and I'm an award winner last year, and I currently serve as a mentor and ambassador of the program, as well as the Clinton Global Initiative University and Tony Elumelu Quest Fellowship Program. So how did I begin all these programs? I discovered my passion. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship, and I engage in food sustainable systems, as well as creating employment opportunities for young people out there to improve on their livelihoods. So not only do you need to focus on your papers, academic bit of it, you can also mean to balance, and also network. We have platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, where you're going to meet colleagues on this summit or in other conferences. You can reach out to a colleague and network and see how you're going to benefit from them. Albeit during your university time, there are many programs you can engage in, entrepreneurship programs, let me say, leadership programs or particular clubs. So as you are fighting hard to excel with a high CGPA, you can also balance with all those other opportunities that can enable you grow in your career path. And one last conclusion I'd like to tell anyone, any student out there, is that keep dreaming, dream big. You just need to know that anything is achievable as long as you set your goals clearly and you're determined to achieve them. You can apply for an application over 5 times and you'll be rejected, but you'll reach that point when you will still be accepted in that particular application if you keep pushing and moving forward during your goals. So university shouldn't be the end of your dreams. You need to keep dreaming and know that you're going to be that unique person out there. I also realized that in Africa, we have a difference in our education system that doesn't give most young people exposure. But as a young people, if you keep joining mentorship programs and leadership programs, networking opportunities, you realize that you're going to learn a lot of new things. And I also faced the same experience. I joined many programs and I was exposed to many opportunities that have enabled me to be on these global platforms. So you also need to do the same. And let's network after the summit and keep learning from one another and see how we can help each other during the summit. Feel free to ask any questions. And thank you so much for this session. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you so much. That was powerful, Charlotte. I learned so much myself, you know. You shared so much information. And okay, the floor is now open for questions. If you've got any questions, you can raise your hand, you can unmute your mic and have a question. Mr. Luang Hope, coach. Can I ask, I can see me and you, we are looking at each other because we are confident enough to show our faces. Can you please unmute your mic and ask any question from our speakers?
Yeah, thank you so much. As you have said my name is Luangop Coach from South Sudan, but I'm currently in Uganda as a refugee. So from the beginning, I really appreciate how the presentators are presenting the programs. So actually, I don't have any question, but the way you have seen me, I'm just sitting confidentially. I'm just putting everything in my mind. So thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so me, I've got a question for Fahim. I've got a question for Fahima, right? Ooh, okay. The recording is still in progress. I've got a question for Fahima and Charlotte, right? So, okay, Charlotte, let me start. Okay, I can see Fahima is already ready for me. It's already ready for me. So Fahima, what according to, because this I'm asking personally right now, what do you think is the best way for each and every student to transition without being pressured by peers, right? And also the transitioning also, because I can see that you had a really great transitioning, you yourself. What are the key highlights that student can focus on and say, you know what, for me to be able to transition and be who I am, because of right now you are tapping into the real world. What are the 5 key things you can advise our students that are watching this summit? or who will watch this over, because of it's also on YouTube, right? So I don't know if I don't know if, I don't know, was I, uh, did you, were you able to get my question? I don't know.
Yes, I did. I managed to get your question. So
Thank you.
in my opinion, the best way for a person to successfully transition is you have to remember that each person has their own path. You shouldn't be looking at other people and trying to compete, but rather you should walk your own path. And that requires for you to know who you are and what it is that you want to achieve. Not everyone can, go the same path. Not everyone can decide that they're going to work in this particular, line of work or that particular line of work. You need to be passionate about the path that you're taking. So it's just sitting down with yourself and really evaluating what it is that you want to do and where you want to be, and making sure that your path is right for you. Because if you don't do that, you'll end up looking back 20 years from now and being depressed and observing that the path that you took is not the path that you actually wanted to take. It was not a passion for you. And maybe that's why you haven't been doing so well. Maybe that's why you've been stuck in a particular job for so long, but you have never seen progress, and it's not fruitful for you. So I would say that sit down, take the time, sit down, even sitting down with one of your former professors, or even someone, a professional, even a friend who's maybe sure of how the path they're taking, and just create a path for yourself. Be sure of who you want to be, and it will be easy for you to transition. It'll be easy for you to know what type of industry events you need to be in, what type of fellowships you need to be applying for, what the next steps are. Do you want to go for masters or not? Or are you happier in doing remote work or being in an office? All of these things are very important for you to establish, for you to be successful. I hope that I've answered your question.
You definitely have. That was powerful. Thank you so much. Now, I don't know, do you have anyone with a question? Because I can ask questions for days, right? I can ask questions for days.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we are getting you.
Okay, I think Tashepo may have dropped out for just a second. But if there are no more questions at this point in time, I'd like to thank you all for listening to session 7. At this point in time, I would like to call on a very special person who would be joining us from the World Merit Organization. So the World Merit is our partner for the We Do Educate Global Education Summit. And to represent the World Merit today is Khadija Amahal, who is the Global Associate from the World Merit, and she's going to be representing, and she's going to be talking about leadership and the value of volunteering. So if Khadija is here, I would like to welcome Khadija on board now as she begins her presentation. And I'm sure everyone is going to be able to learn from this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yolami, for the wonderful introduction, and thank you very much for having me here today. I'm very excited to share a little bit about my passion for volunteering and how it's very linked to building leadership skills and how this connection exists. But just a note, you will not become a professional leader after today's workshop or presentation. This is just a sharing moment, and then it's up to you to identify your own leadership journey and your own leadership path. And I believe that by being here today, you're already starting this journey. I would like to first share my screen so you can see my slides, the slides that I prepared for today's session. And as you can see, the title of the workshop is Leadership Workshop, Inspire, Influence, and Lead. And throughout the workshop, I will share some examples of volunteering experiences that shaped me, that contributed to building the skills that I'm super grateful to have today and who that made me as well. Because through volunteering, we meet several people who influence us, who inspire us, and who open several doors and opportunities for us. But before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Khadija Amahal. I'm from Morocco. I was originally born and raised in Agadir city, and currently I'm calling you from the capital city of Morocco, Rabat. I belong to an Amazigh family, and for those of you who don't know, Amazigh people are the indigenous inhabitants of North Africa. My academic backgrounds are in linguistics, something that's totally different from what I'm doing today as a youth leader, as a facilitator, and as a trainer. And I think since we're talking about education and orientation, it's important also accept the fact that life can take us to different paths, and it's okay. We just need to be resilient and to be flexible to explore these journeys and to explore these paths. And if you have a background in science and you decide to become an entrepreneur, or if you have a background in academia and you decide to be specialized in sports, why not? As long as you're alive, you can do it. So I hold a master's degree in applied linguistics and English language teaching. And I joined a wonderful organization last year called the Migration Youth and Children Platform as the MENA regional focal point. And this year, I'm the Wellbeing and Development Lead. And I work as a youth worker, generally speaking, supporting the capacity building of young people around the world, not only in Morocco, but internationally. And this is something that I'm super thankful for. And having this opportunity to talk to you is something that's very close to my heart. And I joined World Merit in 2019, and I will leave how I joined World Merit and how I became the Global Community Engagement Associate today. Besides that, I'm an aunt to two wonderful kids, and I love nature. And you may ask yourself, what are we going to tackle today? So the agenda is as follows. We will co-create leadership definition together. I will not share my definition before I hear it from you. Then we will talk about the importance of leadership. Why do we talk about leadership, and why do we focus a lot on building the capacities, especially of young people, to become leaders? And why do we often say young people are the leaders of today and tomorrow? Then we will identify the characteristics of an effective leader. A leader is a leader because of their values, because of their skills, communication, several other factors, and we will discuss this together. And I will conclude with a story, my story with volunteering and how it contributed to building my leadership skills. And then, of course, at the end, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to address them. But before we jump into the content, I want to make an agreement. This is your space to learn, so own it. And if you have any questions, there are no stupid questions. You can just type them in the chat. If you don't feel like talking, or if you're in a public space and you have background noise, feel free to type your questions. Raise your hand if you want to address them directly. And this is an interactive session. I will not be the only one speaking because we are all experts in this room and we have so much to learn from each other. And since I said that it's an interactive session, what a better way to start than a question. In your opinion, is leadership innate in us? Is it something that we're born with? Or is it something that we acquire? And I want to hear from you your arguments, because critical thinking is also very important for leaders. So why do you think it's innate? And if you think that it is acquired, why do you think so? So please, I would love to hear from some of you. What do you think? Is leadership something we're born with, or is it something that we acquire as we grow and as we learn in life?
Thank you so much. I would like to take this question.
Yes, Edward, go for it.
Yeah. Okay, being a reader, I think, in my opinion, is having ability to create and manifest the better future or the environment we live in. So the ability to manifest and create something that is of value to people. I think you can acquire that as you grow on, as you move on. It depends with the experience that you got through your life. Those things that you have acquired, so that you can address other people into a good manner or good direction. So it's something that you can acquire.
Beautifully said. So experiences, people we meet, and influencing others as we become leaders. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Edward. Can you share where you are from? Where are you from?
I'm from Malawi.
Nice to meet you. Wonderful.
Thank
Great.
you.
Fahima, would you like to share and please mention where are you joining us from today?
Thank you. My name is Fahima Semanga. I'm from South Africa. And my answer to the question is, I think that leadership is something that is innate in everyone. I think that that is the foundation. And I think that as time goes on, then you will build on that. I think some people are better at it than others, but it is something that you have to have within yourself. That foundation lays there, and then you then develop it through cultivating different skills.
I love the use of cultivating. That's definitely true. Well, it can be innate, definitely. And as you said, it continues to grow and develop thanks to experiences and thanks to different situations that we encounter in life. But leadership development requires the person to be conscious of their ability to lead and their desire to lead. Because maybe not everyone is born to become a leader, and not everyone wants to be a leader, and that's completely fine. We have leaders, strong leaders, weak leaders, and we have people who admit that maybe they don't want to take a leadership position. But one way or another, we all have situations in life when we lead. For example, I never thought about it before. When I was in high school, we had a project at school with my classmates, and I was the one connecting and communicating with everyone, make sure that I received all the submissions, and I never thought of it as a leadership role, but it is. And same thing in life, we go through different situations where we are unconsciously leading or taking a leadership role, and sometimes it's by choice, and sometimes it's imposed on us, and the list goes on. So different leadership roles emerge in life. And as Edward and Fahima beautifully said, it's something that we acquire and we build upon as we continue growing. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. And I like this quote: we cannot teach people anything. We can only help them discover it within themselves. And I think this is very much applicable to leadership. It's not something that we necessarily teach, although it can be taught. There are several courses on leadership. But sometimes we just need to help other people discover that they have something in themselves that is related to leadership. They can sparkle something even bigger, something they're not even aware of, but something that can contribute to their development and also the development of their communities. Because as I gave just a concrete and very simple example of a leadership role that I took when I was younger, if someone reached out and said, "Oh, you know what? You have a great leadership skills. You just need to develop it and you just need to improve it," maybe it would have led me to other experiences that I did not live before that. But someone said in the chat, what are some of the courses that you would encourage? I mean, if you're interested to learn more about leadership, there are plenty of available and free courses on leadership on Coursera and edX. I'll just type it in the chat so you can check. And also, World Merit has developed a course on leadership. So if you go to our Instagram page and just click on the link in the bio, you will receive you can click on the link and it will take you to our university, Action University link, and we're developing a course on leadership. So I hope that answers your question. So what do we mean by leadership? Now that we have identified or we discussed briefly whether it's innate or it's something acquired, how do you define leadership? And please remember, there are no stupid questions here or stupid answers. Your answers are the ones that will fuel this session today and will contribute to its success. So I'm only here to share my humble knowledge, and you also have a lot to share with us. So please unmute yourself or put your answer in the chat.
Right, I can also take that. Like I said, it's ability for a human being to create and manifest a better future for others.
Okay, the ability to create a better future for others, but is it just about others? Is leadership just about people around us, or is it also about the leader himself or herself?
Yeah, as long as you can create and manifest the better future.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
No worries, Mohammed. Taqabbalallah. We look forward to seeing you in a bit. Would someone share? It can also be words. What comes to your mind when you hear the word leadership? Yes, Fiolami, go ahead. Responsibility. Okay, good. I like that. Let's create a word map just in the chat. You can just put words that come to your mind when you hear the word leadership. This is also one way you can participate. Clear vision, good communication, set of behaviors, absolutely. Inspire, that's definitely included. Okay, just for the sake of time, I will share with you the definition that I think covers what leadership is. I see leadership as an art, and did not mention here science because science can be a bit restricted by rules. But art is more, there's more freedom when we talk about art. It's the art of inspiring and guiding individuals toward a shared objective. So the responsibility of the leader or group of leaders is to inspire people around them and to take them towards a common goal, a shared objective, a shared vision. And that's why good leaders are able to create meaningful experiences for people around them to enjoy this process. They're not doing it by force or because they're obliged to, but because they really believe in the mission. And funny thing, I had a great meeting this morning where a great woman mentioned this. She said, when we enjoy the process, that's when we're able to accomplish goals. And I cannot agree more. So it's the art, as I mentioned, and inspiration. This is something that Fiulami mentioned. It involves influencing others positively, harnessing their collective efforts, and setting a clear direction. So a leader is someone who is able to identify the strengths within their team, to give them appropriate tasks and responsibilities where they can bloom. Horrible leaders are the ones who put people in positions where they don't feel comfortable, where they don't feel at ease, and they know for sure that they will not be able to perform. And as a result, the person who is receiving or who was associated with a particular task do not feel comfortable. So positive leaders and influential leaders are the ones who understand their team members and their strengths. And it's also a mindset and a group of skills that anyone can develop. So the reason why I asked in the beginning whether you think it's something innate or something that's developed is very much linked to this. So anyone who would like to develop and who has the mind and in their heart they want to develop it, they can. And it goes beyond just managing people. It involves a lot of inspiration, collective thinking, and driving success and positive change. This is something that Edward said. And I just briefly read the answers in the chat because I would love to learn from you as well. Edward says it's the ability to guide, influence, and inspire individuals towards achieving a common goal. That's absolutely right. And Shiniri said guide and inspire people to achieve a common goal. So do you see the magic words inspire, guide, common goal are repeatedly mentioned? But why do we actually need leaders? Why is leadership so important? Do we actually need leaders, or is it just a trend, something that people think it's cute and they should talk about it? Why do we need leaders in our life? Why do we have them? Can we survive without leaders? Can we survive without leadership? What do you guys think?
I would also take in another angle, say, with the readers, I think we get the direction. Readers are the like limb rights where we tend to follow the path into the common goal, where they assemble and they spectrate what we need to do at the particular moment. But also the leaders act as inspiration, because when you get to know the leaders, you get to be inspired. We get to have like an idols, role models, through their way of cultivating or exploiting the knowledge toward the people, toward achieving that particular common goal, as we said in the definition, to inspire, to influence, and to guide.
Beautiful answer. Thank you so much, Edward, for sharing. I'll hear it from Charlotte and then Fahima.
Thank you so much for this great presentation. I think we really need leaders because leaders are one of the individuals we look up to, and they act as an inspiration out there. So an example I could give was Mandela Nelson, one of the great African leaders we have. You realize that up to today, we look up to his great leadership, and especially when it came to the political arena in Africa. So you realize that leaders are very essential aspect in our communities and in our nations, and you can really be inspired and learn a lot from them. They act as a voice to the people, and this is very important for leaders to be there, because if we do not have leaders, people will be lost. No one will know what to do and what to follow up. So leadership is really essential. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm so lucky to have talented participants, and thank you very much for giving the example of Nelson Mandela, because we often think that leaders are the ones who are alive, but sometimes even when they're no longer here, they passed away, they can still, their impact will continue influencing and impacting people's lives. Thank you very much, Charlotte. Fahima.
Yes, I actually hold the same opinion as my two peers. We really do need leaders because they provide us with direction, they motivate us, and they carry out the collective vision to achieve goals. And they help to unify us as different individuals. And without leadership, I believe that groups can definitely lack purpose, coordination, and momentum, and it will make it very hard for us to accomplish meaningful progress.
Great answer. Exactly. So leaders help us to unify the members included or the community, especially in times of crisis. We need a great leader to show us the path and show us the way. Otherwise, as many of you mentioned, we're lost. So this is just a list of examples of why we need leaders motivating and inspiring others. And you highlighted this sufficiently. Driving innovation and change, the leaders are the ones who are capable of seeing the innovation or the innovative ideas and bringing them to the table and discussing them together with the team with the hope and the aim of creating change. Building and developing high-performing teams, thanks to leaders who are smart and who think collectively, we're able to perform even better and to create a bigger impact. Achieving organizational goals, leaders are capable of communicating these goals to the teams and helping the team members achieve them and celebrate them, and guiding through uncertainty and change. In times of crisis, when it's important to take an immediate or urgent decision, great leaders are capable of taking the lead in that moment and communicating. And I highlight the importance of communication because leadership does not entail taking decisions and driving change alone. It involves building a community, building a sense of togetherness, and working collectively. and of course, influencing and advocating for change. Just for the sake of time, I will move on to this quote. Being a leader means being capable of influencing and motivating others while being a role model to their environment. It's very important to be a role model as a leader. If a leader asks their team members to be patient and to be passionate, if they're not the ones reflecting these values, then the team members will never be able to abide or to be inspired to do the same. It's like being a parent. When you tell your child not to say bad words, if you're the one saying bad words, then it's very likely that your children will do the same. So it's also a matter of being a role model to people surrounding them. And being a leader also involves being supportive, operating with a strong mindset towards result, towards impact, seeking different perspectives and being open and critical to different situations and to different ways of dealing with specific situations and solving problems effectively. Now I will talk to you briefly about my leadership journey with World Merit. I joined World Merit when I was way younger in 2019, and World Merit has several councils or small chapters in different countries and cities around the world. And one of them is Agadir, my home city in Morocco, southeast Morocco. I joined as a volunteer and I participated in several activities, and I loved the mission and the focus on sustainable development goals. That's why I decided to continue my journey with World Merit as a volunteer, and thanks to that, I was rewarded with a fully funded participation to the biggest summit that World Merit hosted in Morocco, the World Merit Summit. There were two editions, one in 2018, one in 2019. And during that event, I was so inspired by influential leaders who have several organizations and have driven several have driven a lot of impact around the world. And I thought to myself, you know what? I want to continue with this organization. This is where I belong. And back then, I wasn't so sure what I wanted to do in life or the career path that I wanted to follow. But thanks to joining World Merit, I fell in love with youth work, with sustainable development goals, with social impact. And during COVID-19, there was a call for volunteers to join the COVID-19 Global Task Force, a team of volunteers that were mobilized to support social impact projects around the world to help communicate, overcome the worst effects of COVID-19. So I did that and I was very active. And something that I want to highlight is if you are volunteering with an organization, make sure that you love what you're doing. Make sure to reflect the values of leadership, of responsibility, of active listening, working together as a team. And thanks to that, I developed a lot of skills that are important for a leader. I developed active listening to better understand the issues and the challenges that communities were facing, humility to be humble in my work with different communities, international and intercultural communication, because I worked with teams from African countries, from Asian countries. So it was very important for me to be respectful and to build trust with these teams. And that's what a leader does. They identify their areas of weakness and they try to develop them. And thanks to World Merit and this experience of volunteering, I was able to identify areas of improvement and strength. And I volunteered with the organization online for around 3 months, and then I received an invitation to join the global team. It was a dream coming true because I never imagined that I would work with people I only saw on stage, rocking the stage with their presentations and being able to attract the attention of 200 plus attendees. And I joined as the as the operations director of an accelerator program that World Merit has led for 3 years now. And I co-created this program together with my amazing colleague and manager, Rich Godfrey. If you haven't met him yet, I hope you do. He's a wonderful human being who is a great leader and who is capable of seeing the strengths within his colleagues and nurturing them. And I was nominated later on to become the Community Engagement Exchange Associate, working with young people around the world, identifying their needs and understanding what better ways to create opportunities for them to stay within the organization and to grow within the organization, because effective leaders are the ones who care about their community members. And I'm so happy to be the leader of one of our newest and impactful projects called Merit Stars. And one of our stars is the one leading this activity today. And I'm super thankful to have this opportunity to meet influential young people who inspire me beyond words can describe. And I cannot wait to hopefully have all of you join the organization, join the network of Merit Stars, and continue building strong leaders, leaders who are capable of identifying issues in their communities and who have the tools and the skills to address global challenges. I think this is about it. Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you, Fiolami, once again for inviting me to be part of today's session. And I hope that you learned something new from today's presentation, or at least it triggered a thought for you to continue developing your leadership skills and to continue creating positive impact. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Khadija. That was such an amazing presentation. Before you go, we'll just take 2 questions. If anyone has any questions, leave it in the chat room or raise up your hand, and then Khadija can answer your questions. We'll just take
Absolutely.
2 questions because of time. Do we have any questions? Okay. If we don't have any questions, once again, I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to thank World Merits for giving us the platform, for hosting this event. And thank you so much, Khadija, for
My pleasure.
taking the time out to teach and educate people on leadership and volunteering. And I know a lot of people have learned a lot from today's session. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and good luck with the rest of the event.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Goodbye. All right. Thank you very much, Khadija. All right. So we're going to move on very quickly. We're going to be having session 8 now. And then after session 8, we'll have the networking session before the final session for the 2024 edition of the We Lead, We Educate Global Education Summit. So very quickly, I would like to call on the moderator for session 8, Chisime Edgar. Is Chisime here? And I hope I'm audible. Okay.
Yes, please.
And today's session will be talking about
should I start?
yes, please, professional development and career growth. So Edgar would be leading this session.
Hello, everyone. Very good evening. My name is Edgar Tsime, and I happen to be the moderator for the 8th session, which is under professional development and career growth. I want to begin by taking this opportunity to thank the We Lead, We Educate Global Education Summit leadership and College Guide Africa with our dear host today for giving us this opportunity to, for giving me the opportunity to moderate this session. I don't think we need to take a lot of time. We need to kickstart away with our session. That is session 8, as already projected here. And we have 3 speakers for today. And the first speaker will be Iskandar Chenov. I hope he's around. And he's
hello.
He's a little bit behind on Chenov. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Iskandar Chenov is a 21-year-old entrepreneur from a small town in Tunisia, focused on empowering Africa's youth to become transformational leaders and innovators through his startup, which is Youth for Future. He's pursuing a bachelor's degree in business administration and is a professional business coach and mentor. Iskandar has guided over 40 youth-led entrepreneurial projects globally and positively impacted more than 150 young individuals. He also serves as a consultant specializing in the entrepreneurship ecosystem, fostering sustainable growth and innovation among emerging entrepreneurs. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let's prepare to hear from Iskandar Chenov in a few minutes to come. Then the second speaker will be Mr. Bubakar Jano. Is a social worker and a youth leader with over 5 years of experience in youth empowerment and community development. I take this opportunity to introduce Bubakar Jano to the audience. We have our third speaker, who is the only female speaker of the session, and we are honored to have her. She's none other than Moriyehi Kojani. Is a poet and a tutor for children from primary level to high school level. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let's also to prepare to hear from Moriyehi Masenina Kojani, who is an educator in some minutes to come. Yeah. So without taking a lot of our time, we are going to start straight away with, we have a general question for every speaker, and then we have individual questions. The general question will be answered by everyone, and the individual questions will be answered by the respective speakers. So our today's general question will be, how can professionals across different fields work towards continuous learning and developing new skills? So dear speakers, everyone is going to take only 5 minutes, and we hope to have finished this session of general question in only 15 minutes. This juncture, allow me to take this opportunity to welcome our dear first speaker, Mr. Iskandar Chenov, to talk to us about the general question. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be around here today, and I'm really glad that I'm here to talk with you about these problems. And I'm really glad that I was invited by College Guide Africa. So I want to thank everyone here, and let's start. So the question is right now is, we are professionals, we are having a job, let's say. Is it enough for us that the journey conclude here? But life is a journey, and I really like it to be like an knowledge journey. We are always entitled to have more and know more and get more knowledge. But always the question how. I don't have the time. I work like from 9 to 5, hypothetically, and I go home, and that's it for me. I'm getting money. I'm good. But we have dreams. We aspire to do many things in life. We always say, nah, I can do better. I can do better. That's the real answer, and that's the real thing you should always tell to yourself. I can do better. We never, okay, we are grateful for what we have, but we can do more. So actually, I don't have a lot to say about this because the answer is really simple. Invest in yourself. Try to inspire yourself by the right models to follow. Don't ever set yourself like, I'm old, or young, maybe, let's say. I'm too old for doing this. I'm just happy that I'm getting paid right now. But the computer you have, the internet you have, has everything. It can, you can actually taught yourself how to be a business, how to be entrepreneur, how to be a marketer, let's say, even a financial analyst. You can learn many things as long as you want to know something. And actually, this gives you an opportunity and an advantage that you to change careers, let's say, to drive innovation, to achieve growth, personal growth, money growth, financial growth, and all this can be achieved through many links, through many platforms that can give you certifications in multiple expertise. Especially right now, what is driving us today is computer science, artificial intelligence, maybe the business, finance, all of these specializations in university can be taught through online. So as professionals, we don't have to say that's enough for us. We should always strive for innovation, and we always have and let's say create time to know better. We never know what might happen later. And that's all I can say. Maybe we will talk about how we can achieve this during the individual question, and we have more time for it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, our dear first speaker, Mr. Chenov. He's saying that as professionals, we don't have to say that that's enough for us, and I like it. It's very interesting. So at this moment, we are not going to spend any other minute other than using it to welcome our second speaker, and that is Mr. Boubacar Jano. You're highly welcome.
Yeah.
About the general question.
Sure. Greetings, everyone. I hope you're okay. I think the first speaker has answered everything. As professionals, if we want to excel in so many fields, we just need to develop ourselves by engaging in online courses, workshops, trainings, just to improve ourselves. I think also networking also plays a crucial role, because if you want to have information regarding so many things that you want to do, you need to network with people, you have peers that you can learn from, but most importantly, you should also be able to know how to use technology, because nowadays, so many things that you want to know, you can just click
Yes, please. Are we hearing Mr. Boubacar?
I think we lost Boubacar, so we could move on to the next.
Am I audible?
Okay, he's back.
Okay. Yeah. So also we didn't also.
Excuse me, Mr. Boubacar, you can maybe take us. You can repeat a little
Plays a
because you
crucial role,
somehow got
because
lost
we
from the way.
believe readers are leaders. Okay. Like I was saying, using technology also helps a lot, because now we are in an era where technology is advancing. And then if you want to know about so many things, you just need to click on a website, and then you're good to go. You will learn what you need to know. But most importantly, if you want to be a professional in different fields, you just have to also embrace the habit of reading books, because reading plays a crucial role, like plays an important role in someone becoming a good version of themselves, and in also someone becoming a professional in different fields. So basically, this is what I just have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Our second speaker, Mr. Boubacar Jano, and we are only going to welcome the only lady in the only lady speaker. So Miss Muniehi Kojane, you kindly welcome to give us your remarks about the general question. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, please, you're audible.
Thank you so much for this great opportunity. I'll just go straight to the question. But first of all, I would like to start by saying continuous learning is essential for staying relevant, especially here in the competitive, today's fast changing job market. It sharpens individual skills and drives organizational growth. So I'm going to talk about how we can foster continuous learning. There are different ways in which we can foster continuous learning. First of all, we can participate in formal programs like courses, workshops, and seminars. Secondly, we can do this through social learning. That is whereby we have to engage with peers and mentors through collaborative activities. I can make an example of an HR specialist who can shadow recruitment consultant in order to learn advanced talent acquisition techniques. The third point rather, that I will talk about is we can do what we call self-development or self-directed learning. Let me call it that way. We can take initiative by reading, because there is a saying that goes by, a reader today will be a leader tomorrow. We can also watch tutorials, experiment with tools. For example, a teacher can use YouTube videos to integrate technology and his or her class improvement. Number 4, I can also talk about leveraging technology, access on demand courses via platforms and applications. Number 5, I can say we can prefer to go for mentorship and networking. So seeking mentors and building networking is very important as it helps us to grow. Last but not least, I will just highlight the benefits of continuous learning. That is number 1, we have skill development and adaptability.
Yes, please. Are we hearing Kojande?
Quickly. Number that.
Please, we are not getting you well. Excuse me, Miss Moria, we are not getting you well. You can. I think we only stopped on point 1.
You have. So the other one, which is the individuals. Hello?
Yes, please. We can hear you now.
It enhances expertise, career advancement, and motivation while driving innovation. So professionals can stay ahead and organizations can cultivate a skilled workforce. I will conclude by this saying of the Chinese proverb, which says, learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. So we don't have to say we don't have time to learn. Everyone has time. We just have to create time to learn. Let's not say we have our 9-to-5 job, therefore we don't have time to learn something new. Every day is an opportunity for us to learn. Let's continue to learn something new. Thank you so much for this platform.
Wow, that's so interesting. Thank you so much, our dear third speaker, Ms. Moriani Kojane. And she's saying that, according to the Chinese saying that learning is a treasure that follows its owner every way. That's so interesting. So now we are going to go to our individual questions. We are going to start with our dear first speaker, Iskandar Chalo. And the question for him is like, how can professionals build a compelling resume and personal brand? And how can professionals market their university experiences and achievements to potential employers? So allow me to take this opportunity to welcome the first speaker in only 7 minutes. Mr. Iskandar Chalo, you're welcome.
Hello, guys. I'm just going to present something here, so allow me a minute. Share screen. Okay. Share. Okay. What you're seeing right now. Okay, really nice. So welcome everyone here today for professional development career growth. We are going to talk about generally about how can professionals build their resumes as a students, of course, how can we get opportunities and how to communicate them to professionals to guarantee a job, maybe let's say any other thing. So I just want to add something to Tosomi, what he has said already. I've said already about there is a code actually I like. What we know is a drop, and what we don't know is a notion. So basically, I'm 21 years old, I know, but I did many things in my life that I'm really proud of. So the question here today to ask, since we are in College Africa, as a student, am I entitled to have accomplishments? Or do I have to wait till I get 50 and say, nah, accomplish things? Yes, as a student, you can, and you must actually. And there is a lot of opportunities for you to do this. But how? I'm 21 years old, and I have already impacted a lot of people in Tunisia through organizations, through startups, through mentorship, through youth engagement. I built organizations that today are lasting and have more than 2,000 students registered. They are working on leadership, they are working on projects. But also, please, sorry, guys. Please, can you scan this code? It goes you to the LinkedIn account so we can actually communicate more on the importance of our personal brand on LinkedIn, to communicate with professionals, to build our professional community, of course, and to get opportunities. So please, I welcome you to scan this code and follow with me some posts that I'm going through one by one. I will count to 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm just a student. How can I get these opportunities? How I can build my professional resume? How I do my personal brand? The question and the answer is knowledge is power. For the Game of Thrones fans, they know Lord Peter Baelish when he said knowledge is power. And yes, knowledge is really powerful. And we can inspire and we can do this through a lot of things during our university journey. We should join clubs, actually. They are the first milestone and the first thing you have to do during your university journey. Other than this, use your computer, invest in yourself, and learn new things. You have Coursera, you have YouTube, you have Udemy. They provide certifications of all kinds. Join entrepreneurial and have an entrepreneurial skill development program at least once during your career. Entrepreneurship is really something that is making the person you are talking with today. Through entrepreneurial development program, you can actually learn many aspects of business, many aspects of finance, many aspects of how the world goes actually and how things happen. You are able to solve problems, real world problems, complex problems, people's problems, society problems. You're going to actually exercise leadership at its finest, as we were talking before with Khadija about the importance of leadership today. Actually, these are the sets that make you build your personal brand and build your future career and be attractive to the professionals recruiters. Use LinkedIn. The simple is easy. There is 4 pages here that can make you get a lot of opportunities as a student, maybe exchange programs, maybe this leadership development skills. Let's start by my project, which is Youth for Future. Youth for Future is an organization that provides mentorship, one-to-one mentorship to youth entrepreneurs. We provide people with training development cycles in entrepreneurship and in social life skills. We provide trainings to many aspects of people, and we do this for free because we want to help Africa. I'm from Africa. We are all from Africa. We see the external world, how America, Europe are dealing with us, and we have to actually empower ourselves to drive future. So I invite you to consult Youth for Future. There is also the greatest LinkedIn page, Opportunities for Youth. There is that Opportunities, which provide like all exchange programs, specialists in exchange programs. And there is Forqa. Forqa.com is translated to opportunities in Arabic. It's Forza, actually, in Arabic. So these are the build-up pages in LinkedIn that can make you get these opportunities. And how we're gonna communicate them? It's easy. We're gonna communicate everything back on LinkedIn to grow our professional network. We have LinkedIn, literally have everything in it. Professionals, students, experts, world leaders, governments, everything falls into one professional network, and you're just gonna have to communicate it back. Actually, this is an example of something that I did during my university job. It's a dashboard, a Power BI dashboard about the importance of data. As you can see, it's quite long, but it got more than 2,000 people who saw this post. For LinkedIn, which makes it powerful, is the tags and hashtags you use during each post. I I really encourage you guys to use as many tags as possible and to tag people involved in your post as much as you can. This LinkedIn algorithm really appreciate when something he knows. This will make this post visible to many people in the network. If, for example, I'm really interested in startups, let's say I'm an entrepreneur, for sure this project and this post will pop up me when I first enter the LinkedIn platform. So guys, it's really important to put the tags and people during your LinkedIn post, of course, and try to engage as many people as you can. A second example here, when I get my certification in professional design thinking, it's not a quite long people, but it's just about words. LinkedIn appreciate the words, appreciate once again the tags, the maybe the here we identify the University of we tag University of Virginia. This will allow all the employees of University of Virginia to possibly see this post. It actually got quite more than 5,000 impressions here, so 5,000 people saw it. And that way, I drove my professional network and my personal brand. I was starting building it through LinkedIn. That's how I get to know more people. I get to more opportunities to drive many impact through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a really powerful platform that everyone should have, whether a student, whether a professional, whether, I don't know, world reader, leader, everything falls into LinkedIn account. But then all of this experience that you build during your career, your early stage career, you're gonna build a compelling resume and curriculum vitae to attract professionals. How we're gonna do that is quite simple. I have, as you know, there is something new that happened in 2023. It's related to AI. We have now ATS Checker, which is an AI program who checks resume when you send them to recruiters. They actually make like an algorithm who qualify only the resume who are related to the job and disqualify all the others. The possibility of the recruiter doesn't get your resume is quite high when you don't have a CV or resume who has the standards. So the important section that everyone should have in his resume, maybe, and if applicable, okay, profile overview, you start by it. Then your education, if you have from 0 to 2 years of experience, but if you have more than 2 years of experience, profile overview, then work, then education, okay? So for education, work, internship that you get through your college education. Am I hearing something? Guys?
We can hear you.
I'm listening to someone speaking in the background.
Just me, said the person.
Okay. So fourth thing must be volunteering, then skills, languages, maybe training that you got, and certifications. Maybe you can add personal achievements, personal honors, and recommendations. That's maybe all, but this is the important skills section. This is the important section that you must have in a resume, a winning resume, an ATS beater resume. Once you have this, we're gonna actually apply it to.
Meanwhile, Mr. Chudov, you can try to wind up.
Yes. Only to one slide left about how a resume must be. So this is my resume actually. It started from the title, education, professional. Don't forget to include the dates. Always start by the recent experiences, then go through your internships, volunteering, certificates, and maybe you can add your interests at the bottom. But please, I'm going now to share with you some tips that you must follow during building your winning resume. First of all, quantify your achievements. By example, here, increase sales by 20% in 6 months. If your experience doesn't have percentages or maybe quantifiable results, it actually doesn't comply with the ATS checker. Second of all, tailor your resume to the job. If you are applying for, I don't know, a data analyst, a data administrator, a finance in a job. Your resume must be tailored to the job you're applying for. Use the keywords from the job description. Try to know what they are looking for, and then build your resume tailored to it. Third of all, use action verbs. Manage it, led, develop it, implemented on all of this. Always start your experience description by action verbs. Don't start by we or I. These personal pronouns are not applicable in a resume building. Always start by verbs, okay? And avoid duplication. Try to manage, try to include as many verbs as you can, okay? So fourth things must be keep it clear and concise. Don't put overwhelming things, don't put overwhelming sentences that a recruiter cannot read. Try to always make bullet points. It's really important to have bullet points. Your resume must be concise, must be long, actually, no, at least 400 words. So use a word counter, count your words when you are building your CV. Fifth things, use a professional format. And this, like, font usually must be Arial, Calibri, and keep your font sizes between 10 to 12 points. Don't use other than Arial or Calibri, and don't exceed 12 points in your resume, whether it is highlighting, whether or it is a sub point. And finally, do not use your personal photo. Actually, it's not encouraged to include your photo here because we can steal data. Many companies today use your data to transmit it to other people, to other companies. So please, just as I shown you my resume, don't include any, don't attach any personal information about yourself. Only what is related to the job. And thank you for your attention. This is my LinkedIn account. I hope I can help you all, consult you for future, and maybe we can do something together, all of us. Just contact me and we will be in touch. Okay. Thank you for having me again. And we will ask questions after my fellow speakers continue their session. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, our dear first speaker, Mr. Chenov Uganda. It's been a very interesting session whereby we've seen how to build a compelling resume and all that was talked about. So our time is fast spent, and we are going to welcome our dear second speaker, that is Mr. Boubacar Jano. And his individual question is, what are the best strategies for effective career development and growth? Mr. Boubacar Jano, please, you're highly welcome. You can present to the audience. Thank you.
Yeah, greetings everyone. It's Boubacar again. Sorry that my PC is not working, so I cannot share the slides with you. But hopefully when I'm done, I would share it with the moderator, and then he can just share it with the people who want it. I'm very sorry for that. So I think the best thing to do is to network with people who are into the same scope of work like you. Because if you want to develop, you need to know, you have to know the people that you are going to network with. For example, I am a community development worker. If I want to know more about community development, I need to network and link with people who are into community development. Though linking with other people who are also into other scope of work is
Yes, please. I'm getting you well. Are we hearing Mr. Jano? Hello. Can you please reconnect and talk to us? We are not hearing you well. Oh, sorry. I don't know if he's getting off, we can welcome another speaker, and maybe we shall call him later. I don't know if Mr. Jano, can you hear me? All right. I think he's away, so we can welcome another speaker. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, as we wait for Mr. Boubacar Jano to make his remarks, we can take this opportunity to welcome our third speaker, who is the only female in the session, the only speaker who is a female, and her individual question is, how can you move from one industry to another, especially if you studied something different in university? For example, I am a health worker, and if, for example, I want to move out and join the music industry, how can we go about this? You're welcome, Miss Moria Ikojan. Thank you.
Thank you once again. Thank you for this question, because I will say it's directed to me personally. First of all, I will start by saying I didn't start teaching at school, but I made sure that as I transition towards education, I gather all the necessary tools that will help me to be the best in this journey of education. So I'll say this shift can feel overwhelming, but with the right strategy, it can be deeply rewarding. Personally, for me, this question is a trust to me, is a trust to me personally. So I'll go straight to the practical strategies that we can use in a real world to guide us through this transition. First of all, I've highlighted self-assessment and reflection. Under this one, you have to understand why you want to switch careers and what motivates you. What's your passion? What's your reason behind saying, I want to shift from this career to this one? You have to understand the why part first. The second thing that you have to understand under this self-assessment is that you have to identify your transferable skills. What am I talking about transferable skills? I'm talking about leadership, communication, or problem solving, or time management. So those are the things that you have to identify as you are deciding to move on to another career. For example, I can make an example. A lawyer leaves a corporate law to pursue teaching to impact young learners. So that is the first one, which is self-assessment and reflection. I'll go to the second one, which is research your target industry. Do a thorough research about the industry that you want to move to. Explore industry trends, job roles, and opportunities. Don't just move there, but make sure you have done a thorough research about that industry you are moving on to. The second point under this research your target industry is that you have to set up informational interviews for insider knowledge. Gather knowledge as much as you can about that career or profession that you are intending to move to. For example, an engineer can learn Python for data science. So I'll move on to the third strategy. You have to acquire necessary skills. There is nothing intimidating like someone who is changing a profession to another profession, yet lacking in skills. So the first point that I have highlighted under this is that you have to upskill through courses, workshops, and certifications. Personally, there is no workshop that I miss. There is no workshop that I miss. Whenever I see something advertised on Facebook, I go for it. On any social media, I go for it. That means I use my data for my own importance significantly. I don't just waste my data, but I use it for my own advantage. I wanted to say that. So the second point that I have highlighted under acquire necessary skills is that you have to gain practical experience via internships or volunteering. I would say the only thing that has upgraded my teaching skills is that I'm always volunteering at schools. I offer my skills to teach students. So that's where I have improved in my teaching career. Volunteering has helped me a lot because that's where I have gained a lot of experience. So I'll move on to another strategy that will help us to move from career to career. So you have to, this one is networking and mentorship. You have got to attend industry events and connect with professionals on LinkedIn. And then seek mentors with experience in your target field. Don't just seek mentors, but make sure they are in your target field and they have experience. So I'll go to the fifth one, which is tailor your application material. Under this one, I have highlighted these points. Highlight relevant experiences and transferable skills in your resume. This one, I will not talk more about it because the former speaker has already highlighted very important points on this one of resume. So the second point is use industry-specific language to show understanding. For example, a graphic designer emphasizes branding experience for marketing role, not any other experience, but branding experience. So I'll go to the last one, which is prepare for interviews. Prepare for interviews. It is very important as you shift from career to another one to research, make a thorough research about that company as you prepare for the interview. Know the whereabouts of that company. So research common interview questions and practice responses. We all know that as we go for the interview, there's a common question that is being asked. Introduce yourself. You have to master that question thoroughly of introducing yourself. The second point under this one is that you have to show enthusiasm and a growth mindset. Be willing to learn as much as you can. I will make an example with a retail manager moving into logistics who expresses eagerness to adapt leadership skills. In my conclusion, as I conclude this, I will say change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. That is the quote from Barack Obama. With that said, I will say thank you once again for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
That's so interesting. How I wish we could be able to clap for you. And yeah, thank you so much, Miss Maria Kojani, for the interesting presentation. I do not know whether our brother, Mr. Abubakar Jano, is back. We would welcome him straight away. And so if he's not back, we can go to the next item on the program. And that will be welcoming the question and answer session. I don't know, is Mr. Abubakar present? Is he around? So if he's not, then let's switch exactly to questions. Then when he comes back, we shall welcome him. Can we please have any questions raised from the audience? Yes, please. Do you have any questions about what the previous presenters have presented, or any questions about professional development and career growth, so that our speakers for today can address the questions that we are having? Yes, please. You can as well type in the chat. Any questions, please? So yeah, thank you. I request for some guidance from Miss Naomi if we can continue to the close of the session since our brother Jano is not around and it seems we are contented.
All
Yes,
right.
please. Sure.
Okay, so if any of the speakers have any final words to say, they can just say so in the next 1 minute and then we'll round up the session since there are no questions.
All right. So I think we shall start with the very last speaker. You give us your closing remarks and any words for us, and we shall welcome Mr. Chanov. Then we close the session. Thank you. Mrs. Moria, you are welcome. If she's in, yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much. My final words, I don't know what to say, but I will just say I'm so grateful for this great opportunity. What I would just say is that we should keep on learning. We should keep on being the changes that we want to be. We should be the change agents. We should be the leaders of tomorrow that people are expecting us to be so that our footprints will be left. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Mr. Sanof, you can give us your final words.
I would like to share the same thing that my previous speaker has said already. Guys, just dive into things, experiment things, do whatever you can. You never know what is the output. You never know what is the outcome also of any experience. Just go ahead and try as many things as you can. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Our dear host, I would like to thank everyone that has attended this session, and I thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to talk to our dear brothers and sisters. And please, could you take over for the next session? Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Edgar. And thank you very much, Session 8 speakers. I'm sure you have learned a lot on how you can build your professional growth. Thank you so much. All right. So I know a lot of people have been waiting for this part. We're going to move into the breakout rooms now for 5 minutes. And once we're done, we hope everyone comes back because the final session for the 2024 edition of the We Do Educate Global Education Summit is very important. It's a topic that a lot of young people face. We'll be talking about mental health problems amongst youth and how we can solve and address them. So we will just be moving people into breakout rooms now. And then once we come back, we would now have the final session for the day. So very quickly, we'll move people into their breakout rooms. Thank you and stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone. I hope you're able to connect and network with different people. At this point in time, I would like to call on the moderator for session 9, Ms. Henrietta Iriobe, and she will be moderating today's session. Is she here? Is Ms. Henrietta here? Just a minute as we wait for Ms. Henrietta to join in, and then we'll start off. So today's session is the last session for this evening, and it's going to be on understanding mental health and well-being amongst youth. This is a really important session because a lot of young people, sometimes they need guidance on the kind of problems that may surface, especially because there's academic stress, stress from employment, stress from so many different things. And as young people, we need to be able to come together to discuss on how we can better understand mental health and youth. So we'll just wait very briefly for the moderator to join in. But as we wait for the moderator, I think I will just introduce the speakers as we're waiting for her. Okay, so the first speaker I would be introducing is Gloria Lucky. Adon Gloria Lucky is a 25-year-old passionate mental health activist who has dedicated her life to promoting mental health and mental well-being and reducing the stigma surrounding mental health issues. Gloria has made significant strides in advocating for mental health awareness, having spoken at numerous events, workshops, and conferences to educate and empower individuals on the importance of mental health. In addition to her speaking engagements, Gloria has moderated a youth-led radio show, providing a platform for young people to discuss youth concerns and share their experiences in various aspects of life. As a Christian preacher, Gloria also integrates her faith into advocacy work, emphasizing how the role spirituality can play in fostering mental well-being. Through her commitment to raising awareness, breaking down barriers, and creating safe spaces for dialogue, Adon Gloria Lucky is a shining example of the positive change that can be achieved when individuals take action to support mental health in their communities. All right, so the next speaker is Flourish Dolapo Alonge. All right, our moderator has joined us now. So I will just hand over to Henrietta to continue introducing the speakers. So we're on Flourish now. So welcome, Henrietta. I'll hand over to you so that you can continue introducing our speakers for today. Henrietta, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. A minute, please. I'm trying to. Should I put on my video? So
yeah. Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, okay, can everyone see me? All right. Okay, so we are on Flourish Dolapo. Okay, so first of all, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on another section 9, which is going to be the last section on understanding mental health and well-being amongst youth. And that will be our topic for today. So we're on Flourish Dolapo Alonge, and Flourish Dolapo Alonge is the founder of Global Insights Mental Health Initiative and also a 300-level law student in Ekiti State University. She is an Ashoka Young Changemaker and a fellow of the Mental Health Fellowship. She's particular about mental health because of her own experience with it and is working alongside her team to educate young people on mental health and how to maintain mental wellness. Alonge Flourish is an avid reader and would never pass up an opportunity to educate young people like her and inspire change. So our next speaker is going to be Lucy Abeg. Lucy Abeg is a dedicated youth development expert and mental health advocate with over 6 years of experience. She holds a bachelor degree in economics from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and a master's from the University of Huddersfield, England in 2019. In 2019, she founded the Mental Health for Young Initiative in Nigeria, Youth Initiative in Nigeria, focusing on raising awareness, offering intervention services, and advocating for policies aimed at African youth. As a lecturer and researcher in the Department of Economics at Bayes University, she is also a research fellow with the Partnership for Economics Policy. Currently, she works as a research analyst for Mind the Gap and contributes to the 2019 National Youth Policy Review Committee. Her leadership skills have been strengthened through programs like the Young African Leaders Initiative and Mackenzie Forward. Lucy's research interests focus on youth development and expanding research on mental health through our organization. So thank you so much for, are they on here? So Lucy Abeg and Lucy, Glory, and Flourish, I believe you all are here. Please, if you're here, can you unmute your mic so I can know you're all here?
Hi, good evening. This
Good
is Lucy speaking.
Okay, good evening, Lucy. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well. So we're speaking on mental health. You know, mental health is very crucial in our society today, especially we Africans, since we believe that we as African blood, we do not face mental illnesses. So my first question is, how can we better understand the mental health challenges faced by today's youth, and what can be done to provide the right support? Lucy?
Oh, wow. I was actually speaking, I was on mute.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the question is, how can we better understand the mental health challenges faced by today's youth, and what can be done to provide the right support?
Okay, so thank you very much for that question. I would start by speaking on what mental health is, which basically is the state of your mind. So the way we have our physical health, we also have our mental health. So most times when people hear mental health, they think of it being like something to not be talked about. But what they're actually concerned about is mental illness. So I just want us to have that clear. There's a difference between, everyone has their mental health because we have our mental and physical health as human beings. And I think COVID was one point that people began to realize that mental health issues are actually real. When people were by themselves, they were alone, and they were not in contact with other people. They began to have some introspections and thoughts, and we began to realize that, see, this mental health issue is real, and it's happening in Africa. It's not a hearsay. And I think these Gen Zs are taking it a bit more serious, and people are being more open about it. I think to answer your question, the first thing is just really understanding that having a mental illness, it's something that is very common. A lot of studies have shown that 1 in 5 persons is suffering a mental illness. So raising awareness of the different kind of mental illnesses is one thing first, where people are able to understand, oh, I have what I'm going through is phobia, what I'm going through is bipolar, what I'm going through is depression or anxiety or social anxiety or something. Having the understanding of the different mental health issues that exist is the first step. And then how this can now be managed in this current society. It's now, especially amongst the youth, it's now saying, okay, this is an issue. What do I do about it? So I know this is a problem known.
Yes.
It's already been there's halfway been solved already since you have noted what the issue is. So awareness creation, which is what my organization does, especially for young people. So when people are aware that this is what I'm going through, it's now easier for them to look at their friend and not think, oh, this person is weird, or why are you acting like this? You think with compassion because you're thinking maybe this person is going through this or that from being aware. And for those who are going through things, most times it's good to speak to someone. It's good to someone that actually you trust, not just anyone. In some other cases, you need to speak to a professional. In some cases, you need to have a change of lifestyle. So there's certain things that influence the mental health of young people, coming from the family, environment, what they take, like what you ingest in terms of what you watch, the kind of friends you keep, what you read, and also drugs and all of those things. So if they're aware of the effects that all of these things have, then it becomes easier for them to manage it. When I mean then, I mean everybody, because everyone has experiences a mental challenge at one point in time or another. So awareness really is the most important. And then when people are going through this, it's important to speak up, speak to someone, and in some cases have a change of lifestyle. So I think I'll stop there.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, based on what you said, I'm just going to ask you this other question. What are the barriers preventing youth from seeking mental support? You know, especially you mentioned Gen Z. You know, Gen Z now, we actually, quite a lot of Gen Zs are actually going through a lot, and they feel that they do not have support that they can reach out to. So what are the barriers you think preventing youth, preventing Gen Zs, preventing everybody in general from seeking mental health support, and how do you think they can be addressed?
So from the studies that was done by my organization and from of the outreaches that we've gone to, one major issue is finances. So first you are I'll go back a bit to awareness, because I mean you can't seek for help for something you don't understand. So there's still the gap in understanding of mental health and how very unique it is for everyone. So after, okay, so let me use a very typical example of when we went for an outreach. Now, these young people, they've known about what mental health is. They've known about the different type of mental illnesses. What next? Okay, I think I'm going through this. I think I'm suicidal. So I need to speak to someone. And then sometimes their friends may not really understand. It's easy to say, oh, speak to someone, or you as someone, you as an individual, it's easy for you to tell your friend, oh, speak to me. But then when they're speaking to you, most times they wouldn't come to tell you, I am going through this. It's there are a lot of tell signs that they use in like the body languages, some subtle, in quotes, call for help, that if you are not sensitive to, you might not catch them. And that's why you wonder, why didn't you speak to me? All of those bits. So the awareness again and knowledge of us as individuals helping our friends and people around us also affects why people wouldn't want to seek for help. But then when after the awareness creation is, finances is a problem, because it's very expensive to see a professional. So for those who, because just like physical health, mental health, sometimes you need medication. So the ones that need, and these medications are expensive. So
Yeah.
what now happens? Even having a session is also expensive. So what do
Yeah.
they do at that point in time? So what can be done? Just like a lot of organizations like mine are coming up with initiatives to help. They're coming up with initiatives to help young people. So like having helplines, having creating avenues for people to speak up. At the moment, I know the ministry, my organization is working with the Ministry of Youth to come up with certain interventions for the young people in terms of mental health. So there's a role the government has to play. And then a lot of NGOs and CSOs are also coming up with that, just to manage, or rather cover the gap in terms of finances for young people seeking help. But yeah, finances is a major issue. But generally, it's important for us to be very much aware, because the first call of action for anyone who needs to speak, who is going through a mental illness, is probably going to be you, a friend, a sister, or a brother, or something. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'll be coming back to you very soon. So I'm moving on to you, Lucky. Gloria, Lucky, are you here, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, good evening, Gloria.
Good evening.
Okay,
to you.
so like the question I asked Lucy earlier on, so how can we better understand the mental health challenges faced by today's youth, and what can be done to provide the right support?
Okay, thank you so much, Henrietta, for this opportunity. Mental health amongst the youth is something that is escalating day and night, and we have very many challenges that the youth are facing in relation to mental health. But surely we have certain ways where we can better understand these mental health issues so that we can find resolutions to them. Some of the ways we can better understand these mental health issues is active listening. When we create opportunities for young people to voice out their concerns and experiences, we can easily get to know the challenges that they're facing. In this case, we should be non-judgmental. We provide them the safe space to speak, and also a good environment where they can easily open up their thoughts and then bring out their emotions easily. Because if we don't give them this opportunity, they will actually fear to come out. And also some other point is we should provide an opportunity for open dialogue. I mean, open dialogue is we openly speak out our emotions or what we are going through, because it is the only way we can be best understood and helped. If we don't speak it out, we can't really be helped. They can't know the challenges we are facing so that we are helped. Also, another ways maybe we can understand these issues is bringing to the attention of the youth some of the mental health related issues. Let us talk of signs of depression, anxiety, this bipolar, all those issues that are related to mental health. If we bring it to their knowledge and then they know, they can easily get to study themselves and they know that, yes, maybe these are the challenges we are facing, and then they study things that are related to the issues that are raised to them. And in this case, we shall help them also to study themselves and then let us know the challenges, the most pressing challenges they're facing, and we can come in to help. Another issue is maybe engaging with the youth-focused organizations, talk of collaborating with schools, with the youth clubs, with the church groups, with other programs that are directly in touch with youth, so that they can give us valuable insights to the struggles that are uniquely being faced by the youth that may be causing them some mental health challenges. And then maybe let us talk of carrying out research. and data analysis on the statistics of people that are generally facing mental health challenges. In this, we can get to know when we carry out these researches, we also get to know the exact most pressing issues among the youths and the young children, the young generation. Yeah, we have also the use of social media and technology. Like currently, technology is leveraging almost everything. And once we effectively use technology and social media, we can easily get to know a lot of the challenges that these youths are facing so that we are helped. And maybe getting to the point of what can be done to provide the right support to these young people. One is education and awareness. If we provide appropriate mental health education in schools, in communities, in areas where we are living, in our workplaces, it will help them recognize the signs of mental health issues and understand what they're going through. And another way we can provide the right support to these people is early intervention. Once we encourage early interventions to these people by encouraging them to seek help early enough, once they identify some of these issues that are related to mental health, they should be open enough and then seek intervention early enough before it escalates to a different stage that might need more time to try to correct it. And also we can do this by maybe implementing screening programs, because sometimes people are facing mental health challenges and then they are as well not aware of it. But once we implement this screening programs, like you go out to communities, to schools where youths are, and then you screen on mental health issues, it helps us to know these issues in the early stages, and then we can as well help them. Also, we can give them a right support by providing for them accessible mental health resources. And this is a very big challenge because it is very, very rare to get this accessible mental health services in Africa specifically. You find there is still a lot of discrimination around mental health, and even most of her parents, let's say so, are really not so much well versed with mental health. They call it sometimes indiscipline when that might not be the case. And also the services like the therapy, the counselings, they are really so expensive. So if we can make these services easily accessible, we can at least give some support to the people who are facing some issues with mental health challenges. Also, maybe let us talk of having community-based initiatives like having school programs that promote mental health well-being in schools and communities, like the mental health clubs, like the support groups. Also, maybe having stress management workshops and trainings in schools and communities. This helps us to realize ourselves and then the issues that we are facing, and then we tackle them as well. And also, we live a lot with our family members. Family involvement plays a lot of roles as well in mental health challenge, because I might be facing my own issues and my family is where I stay every day. If outside I am already being helped and then I'm still coming back to a toxic environment at home, I will still be facing more challenges with my mental health. So if we involve families, like giving them, the family members, the parents, and then the people in the community, the right tools and knowledge about mental health to support people around us, we can easily help combat these mental health issues. And also let us talk of policies and advocating for mental health, advocating for appropriate mental health policies in the community, in schools. Let us talk of increasing funding in schools to provide mental health services, and also improve access to mental health, like to make train teachers and people who are the leaders in the community more about mental health, so that in case a specialist is so expensive to keep around, but then the people in the community, the leaders in the community are well trained about mental health issues. Such policies can at least have a lot of people well versed with mental health issues, and then on issues that have not yet escalated so much, they can come in to help the people who are facing these challenges. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Gloria. That was really a lot. I'm sure everyone learned something from that. So based on what you said, and I picked up from what you said, do you have any resources or strategies that young people can use to manage stress? You know, especially for the fact that as youth, people are going through so much economic stress, education, school, even the governments are adding to the stress of the people. So what are the strategies and resources you feel that young people can use to manage stress and mental health challenges in their day-to-day life?
All right, thank you so much. Some of the strategies I feel that the young people can use to manage stress and the mental health challenges they're facing in their day-to-day lives is trying to balance the work and personal lives. Like, we should not be so much engaged fully in school, fully in work, fully in other things, and then we forget our personal lives, because we will reach a point where we don't even know ourselves anymore. We are so consumed with other things that we don't enjoy our lives. And sometimes we find it hard to engage in personal lives and the things that we enjoy if we fully consume ourselves in doing other things. And as well, I really advocate for seeking for help, seeking for help from people. Like, if we identify that we are facing some challenge, why can't we speak it out? Let us try to identify the people, some people in our community. It could be our leaders, it could be our friends, it could be our parents, or at least someone. If we can identify someone that we can open up to and seek support for them, or let us say they are of course, there are few mental health institutions around, but for those ones who are around, they can seek support from these people as well. We also have options of peer groups and support groups. If these groups are around in our communities, I really advise that the young people should focus on these groups, because staying in groups help us so much, because it lets us feel less lonely. And also in this group, you will find that people are sharing different incidences or different circumstances where they have had issues with themselves, with their mental health, and then they have overcome. So when we listen to these testimonies and these stories, we get encouraged to fight harder, and also get some other hints that these people use to get out of their situations. And another strategy maybe that young people can use to manage stress is reflection, self-reflection, and recognizing that the mental health challenge they're facing. I have this belief that you can't really solve something you're not aware of. You only solve a problem when you know the problem. So if we really sit and reflect on ourselves, and then we know that, yes, this is really the issue that I am facing, that is what you actually, at the end of the day, end up speaking when you're seeking support to a person. But if you don't have that self-reflection, and then you don't get to know the exact issues that you're facing, it will be hard for you to even be helped. Also, practicing mindfulness, this mindful situation help us to calm down in situations where we are so tensed, like helps us to really also realize us in ourselves, and try to put more focus on us and identifying the issues inside us, or our triggers, things that trigger our emotions, things that make us be reactive instead of being proactive, and things that cause us more stress. So we should really practice this so much. And I advocate so much for open communication. Young people should learn to practice open communication a lot, because practicing open communication helps us to help easily as well, because they say problems half shared is problem half solved. If we share openly, and then we really accept and be vulnerable enough, we can be strong in our vulnerability as well. But we only get this through openly sharing up the issues that we are facing. We can also take breaks from issues that are stressing us. If you really identify some issue that is stressing you out, why should you continuously stay in that issue? If possible, you can take breaks, is it for a few minutes, for a few weeks, for a few times. That is why at workplaces they give leaves. That is why in schools they give school holidays, so that people could take certain breaks, maybe because of issues that are being stressed out. There is also an option of trying out some new hobby. If you try out new hobby, there are hobbies like personally I do crochet a lot, and crocheting has helped me in handling various mental health issues. There are people who go to the gym, there are people who just try out something new, some new hobby that really gives you that peace, that gives you that happiness, that gives you that joy. If you try out that, because it will give you that peace, and then when you have that peace, we easily handle challenges that we are facing when our minds are calm, when we are peaceful. So when we try out these new hobbies and we get the peace that we need, we can go through challenges that we are facing also with some kind of peacefulness. Also, I really advise that the young people should join mental health groups, or actually even create mental health focused groups in communities, in schools, and in work environments, because this one gives us also a platform to air out our issues, to discuss mental health related issues, to solve each other's problems, to get to know how can we handle an individual, how can we handle a team of people. And in this, I really advocate we be so empathetic and not judgmental, and as well as be confidential enough and not speak out the issues outside, because that is one of the barriers that people really have. Fear of your issues being exposed outside, and then everyone else is concerned about your issues that you really want it to be so private. But if we join mental health focus groups that really help us to openly communicate and keep our issues confidential and are also empathetic enough, I'm sure that we can manage some of the stresses and mental health challenges that we are facing. Nothing is getting enough sleep. Getting enough sleep helps us to have some rests in our brains, in our minds, and we wake up less stressed, and then at least we have some more time of stress, and also it gives us less time to think so much about other issues, and it also relieves us from stress and tension and all those other things. And the last 2 points that I can talk of is building a good network of friends. If we have friends that are always not so supportive to us, friends that are always making us feel bad about ourselves, friends that if we do something that we feel right, they're negative about it, those friends really give us a lot more headache and stress. That is how you start feeling having that low self-esteem. That is how you start having that fear. That's how you feel like everything you do is always bad. But when in actual sense, you just don't have a good network of friends. So I encourage us and the young people to build a good network of friends that are really so supportive in our personal lives, our mental health, and in every aspect of our life. And now let us talk about we should decrease negative self-talk and practice more positive talks. We should learn to know that we are uniquely created individually, and if someone tells me that I am not right enough, that I am not good enough, that I am not worth anything, what am I speaking to myself? What I am speaking to myself matters more than what any other person speaks to me. Because if I accept the negative, I will become the negative, even if I am not. But if I feed myself with positive, even if I have some challenges, the positive will always outweigh the negatives. Just like light and darkness. If there is too much darkness, the light will always vanish. But if we increase the intensity of light in the dark, there is no way that darkness will thrive. it is hard to bring darkness in light, but it is very easy to bring light in darkness. So in that dark situation, if we bring more light in our lives by speaking positively to our lives, I am sure that we can overcome the darkness that we are facing. And spiritually, I am a very spiritual person. Sorry to maybe, I respect every religious affiliations, but I believe in the power of prayer in every aspect, in every situation that we are going through. There is a peace that comes with prayer. So if we are faced with certain challenges, we should pray first and get outside. Yeah, something like that. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Henrietta.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would still get back to you, but let me move to, is Flourish here? I don't think Flourish is here. So I'm going back to you, Lucy. Lucy, are you here?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. So thank you so much for sticking by. So I'm going to ask you just one last question. For parents, for guidance, and also for youth, not just youth, but also teenagers, adults as well. How can parents and guidance create a supportive environment that fosters positive mental health for their children? Because in most scenarios, especially in an African home, our mental health issues basically starts from home, based on what our parents, our guidance are making us go through. It might be verbal abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. So how can parents and guidance create a supportive environment that fosters a very good mental health for their children? Do you have anything to say about that, please?
Okay, thank you for that very important question. Again, it boils down to awareness, because if they're not aware, so I'll give a very personal example. I'll use my parents. So growing up, if I had told my parents at any point that I was sad or I didn't feel motivated to do anything, or I was not feeling good, which would be technically the first tell signs of having a mental illness, my parents would not have, they probably just look and be like, oh, you're just being lazy, or you're, just being that. But with their exposure right now, their attitude towards that situation is different. So the key thing there is the awareness for the young people, for the guidance of these young people. Because like you rightly said, and like Lucky rightly also said, it's very important for the family to, you can't, no matter the help you get, getting anywhere if your family are not aware. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. All right. So if the family are not sensitive enough or aware enough to support, then it's going to be counterproductive. And how do we hope for this to happen? It's more of like, so when these awareness creation is being created by organizations, it's important to have the beat for the guardians, for the parents, for the teachers, because at the end of the day, you're going to leave the kids with these people. And it's important that they understand these situations so that they can help and be more empathic, because, I mean, it's not everyone who is a certain way that is, in the African home, there are labels. It's either you're weird or you're lazy or, sometimes they even call someone the black sheep because they are in quotes different. But then with a little understanding, and which comes from knowledge of mental health, that's one major way that you can bridge the gap, because there is a gap. One way to bridge that gap is by making sure that they are aware. So awareness creation again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Lucky, do you have anything to add to what Lucy said? Would you like me to repeat the question again?
Maybe you can repeat the question. Thank you.
Okay. So the question was, how can parents and guardians create a supportive environment that fosters a positive mental health for their children? How can parents and guardians create a supportive environment that fosters positive mental health for their children?
Okay, thank you so much, Henrietta, for that question. Like Lucy had said before, there is really a gap between the parents and the parents and then the young children, especially concerning the mental health. But they can surely do something to create a positive environment for their children, and they can emotionally support the children, like showing them empathy, understanding the emotions of their children, and maybe even teach the children how to cope up with the emotions, because they have at least experienced these things before, and how did they cope up. If they can show that empathy and understanding towards their children's emotions, I am sure that a positive environment can be created for children and their patients, and also encouraging their children to openly express their feelings, their concerns, thoughts without fear of being judged. Like, I grew up personally in a community where I was always in a family where I was always shut down. And every challenge I faced, I learned to handle alone. And that greatly affected me with time as I was growing up. But if we really teach these patients or create with them the awareness that they should really encourage their children to openly express themselves, their feelings, their thoughts, without being judged, a positive environment can be created for people. And then the problems, their fears that they are really hiding inside them can really be solved, as well as parents can model their children in a good way. I mean, they can demonstrate healthy behaviors and ways of managing stress and expressing their emotions. They can instill these positive behaviors in their children at an early stage when they're growing up, so that when they grow up, these children, they know that if I am feeling somehow, I really need to cope up this way and I need to behave this way. And also, parents can teach their children resilience. I mean, they can encourage their children to maybe look at the setbacks that they had before and how they overcame it. And then in looking back to these setbacks that they faced before and they overcame, they should get to know that even this that they're facing at the moment, they can still overcome it. And then that one will teach them the resilience and also ways of solving problems on their own as they look for support from other people or from other sources. And maybe establishing some routines and structures in the home that ensures children to have a balanced time to play, maybe time to relax, time to learn, like teach them some issues that are related to their mental health, because in one way or the other they are going to face challenges in life, they're going to be stressed in life. But if we teach them, like we establish routines where we also teach them, maybe as they're going back to school, we sit them down, we tell them that, you're going back to school, they're going to face some challenges, this and that, but how do you react to such challenges? In the community, we might face challenges like this, even at home, but how do you react to that challenges? If we really teach them, if the parents can teach the children these things, it could help, as well as monitoring and limiting the screen time of children. Like we are in a world where a lot of things are going digital, and you find that a lot of children are facing mental health challenges, and then the only way they consume themselves is going more online and searching for other sometimes negative ways of managing stress, you'll find that I personally use this strategy so much, where I used to stay online, let us say 20 to 22 hours in a day. Like you can imagine someone sleeping for 2 hours or even less and develops insomnia at the end of the day because you're trying to escape from certain realities that you can't really get over. But then because you really have nowhere else to run to, you will even have no one else to talk to and no one else to even tell you that there is another option that you can manage your stress. You find these children are fully like on the screen all the time, at least trying to expose themselves into certain things that might not even, generally to consume themselves on media. And parents should also seek professional help when needed, because they themselves, they have the challenges with themselves, like they might be having some challenges with themselves. So if they seek mental health care from support from therapists, maybe from counselors, from psychologists and all those people, and then they also get to know these things, it is easier for them to create a positive environment for their children where they can thrive and be the better versions of themselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lucky, for that question and for that answer. That was really a lot. So I think we have Flourish here. Flourish, can you please unmute your mic? So
yes, good evening.
Good evening. We've been waiting for you.
Yes, my network has been really bad. I'm so sorry.
Oh, understandable. How are you this evening?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. So my first question is, I'm sure you know we're talking on mental health and well-being amongst youth. And I'm speaking on both Africans, and I'm sure we have people that are not Africans here. So in general, I would like you to please answer this question. How can we better understand the mental health challenges faced by today's youth, and what can be done to provide the right support?
Okay, thank you very much, Henrietta. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'd say in our world today, it has not only started today, it has been for a very long time. Many young people have been facing mental health challenges, which means they struggle with their emotions and mental well-being.
Yeah.
Now, the question to ask is, why are these people struggling? Why are these young people struggling? And to understand these struggles, it requires considering various factors. Some factors I'll be listing and I'll be explaining. One of these factors is social media, right? Because every day, while going through my Instagram, my TikTok, I see girls my age, even girls younger. They are being, I'll use the word total baddies. They're traveling, making vlogs, just living the life. While I'm in school, I'm writing exams time to time. Why am I here? Do you get? And it just makes me feel there. And I know I'm not the only one feeling like this. Other young people feel like this too. Now, you see, social media makes you feel like you need to look or act a certain way. And that way it makes young people compare themselves with others. Now, this leads to feelings of inadequacy and even anxiety. You see, what is even worse is cyberbullying and online harassment. This just contributes to the rise of mental health challenges. So, and that factor is academic. School can be very stressful. With the pressure to get good grades, the competition with your mates, the extracurriculars, it just feels like you're juggling a million things at once. Now, this makes young people feel overwhelmed. So the pressure to excel, it definitely takes a toll on their mental health. And for some people, family issues is also a factor. See, there was a time this year where I was in a very dark place because of some family issues, and it affected me in most areas of my life, especially mentally. You see, in some homes, the changes such as divorce and even financial problems, it might affect how young people feel. It can often lead to anxiety and stress, mostly about how people might view their family And some might even struggle with feelings of insecurity and abandonment. I'll say the last factor, not the last factor, but last factor I will list is cultural and societal expectation. Honestly, we need to break because the society comes up with new rules every day. As a growing person, you need to be this, you need to be this, you need to be that. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to survive. And other young people are trying to survive too. We're just trying to make a meaning of our life. But the society is pressurizing us to either fit in or succeed. And everybody expects you to have it figured out. Meanwhile, they don't. And this pressure, it impacts young people and their self-esteem and subsequently their mental health. Now, how do we provide support? If we understand these feelings, if we understand these factors, how do we provide support to these young people? One point would be promoting mental health education. Imagine if in schools they have sessions like this where they get facilitators to talk to them on mental health, what their mental health is, and how to take care of themselves. See, mental health education, it not only helps young people to understand their mental health, but it also encourages open conversation. See, mental health should be a normal topic, especially for growing people, because it is so nice to share what is on your mind. And that way we can provide support is creating safe space. You see, if I'm in a safe space and if I'm in a place where I consider a safe space and somebody asks me, Flourish, how are you? I can honestly break down, just start talking. I am that comfortable in such a space. Now, what if we all feel that comfortable sharing our rough days? Because it is so nice to encourage one another to just open up. It is so nice to be a safe space to everyone. And if I'm going through a lot, it's still okay for me to be a safe space to another person. So parents, teachers, and friends should also encourage discussions like this, be a safe space to young people. And that way to provide access to help. I heard one of the speakers say that that help is sometimes expensive. It is. Therapy sessions are expensive. But you see, the secondary school I went to, there was no counselor. I did not have a counselor, but I knew some other secondary schools that had counselors. A school that has a paying staff that is actively there to listen to students. Now, that might be expensive for the school, but it's part of the package that the students are paying for. Do you understand? So if secondary schools, even universities, should have these counselors that students can talk to that are readily available for students, to be such a nice way to provide support to these young people who are trying so much to fit in, not only academically, but also with their friends, but also in the society. Okay. And so am I still being audible? Can you still
Yes,
hear
we
me?
can hear you. Yes.
Thank you. So and that way is providing healthy coping mechanisms. You see, I feel young people should also find what helps them unwind. As for me, I sleep.
Yeah.
I really like to sleep. Once I get tired, I sleep. I had a 3 hours nap before this session, and I have exams on Monday. But sleeping makes me feel better. It helps me relax. So young people should find what works for them. It could be drawing, it could be dancing, or even reading a good book. Do you get? This helps to manage stress and anxiety effectively. And I also feel like parents should be involved. Parents should learn how to support their children. There is this peace of mind that comes with knowing that, oh, my mom, my dad, they know what I'm going through. So parents should also learn these topics. They should also be able to get active in their children's life, and not only in the areas that they want to, but more in the areas where the children need them to. Do you get? Lastly, peer support. Now, I'm not a bad person, but I really like when somebody relates to what I'm going through. Like, oh, you also relate. Thank you, I'm not alone. So when we create groups where young people can support each other, it would be really helpful. Knowing that other people understand what you're going through, it reduces loneliness for these people. So basically, I'll just sum it up by saying understanding mental health is important for all of us, it's important for everyone, it's important for me, it's important for you. And by addressing these factors, we can create an environment where young people feel understood, where we feel supported, and where we feel empowered to prioritize our mental health. So thank you very much, Ariana.
Thank you. That was really beautiful. So I would actually like to add to one thing you said about counselors, if you permit me. I don't know if you have more time. But there's a difference having a counselor in schools and having a good counselor. There was an event I went for, Mental Health Speak 6, that was hosted by my organization, and a counselor was talking. She was like, she applied for a job in a school as a counselor, and she wasn't accepted because she was not old enough. So what they are looking for is old people, because they feel that old people are in that mindset and placement to advise people, which is very wrong. And if we're to be very honest, especially the fact that we're in Nigeria, some old people are very judgmental. That is why students do not go to their counselors when they are going through a lot, because they start like treating you as if you are a sinner. And because of maybe the way you dressed or the way you acted, the way you spoke, that is why you are going through what you're going through. So there's a difference between having a counselor and having a good counselor. And I think every school, every principal, every organization should actually listen to something like this so they can gain more insight. Okay, so my last question to you, Flourish, is okay, so you're talking like you're a Gen Z, like you're a youth. So I think this is a very perfect question for you. So how do you think parents and guardians can create a supportive environment that fosters positive mental health for their kids? Not just their kids, but also their kids' friends, because children actually, they also try to look for a safe space in their friends' parents. If their family is a pretty tight, they're going through so much, they kind of find comfort in knowing that, okay, my friend's family are not the same way my family is. So how do you think parents and guardians can create a supportive environment that fosters positive mental health for their children?
Okay, so this is really hard because I feel like parents are also, okay. I think I'll start by saying creating this supportive environment for young people, especially by parents and guardians, is very essential for not only the children, but the parents as well. Because if you have a troubled kid, the parents yourself, you will not sleep. If your child is troubled, you yourself, you will not be okay. So I think I'll start by just highlighting some points. Firstly, open communication. Encourage conversations. Imagine a home where, as you're coming back from school or anywhere, your mom is already waiting at the door, just wanting to know how your day went. Now, even if you're coming with the stress of life, the moment you see somebody who is willing to ask you about it, it's not pressurizing you or feeling like it is their right to know, but they just want to hear you speak. Straight up. The child is there. You start talking, encouraging these conversations, asking how's your day, creating an atmosphere where the children feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings, not the entire, you can trust me, and then I trust you, and then you lash, you break out. So asking open-ended questions about their day and also listening actively, listening and not judging. Yes, and also be approachable. Parents and guardians should be approachable. They should let us know that, okay, we can come to them with anything, whether big or small, and they should avoid reacting negatively to their concerns, to keep the lines of communication open. Because if I know that even if I need to talk to you, even if I know that, the moment I'm saying something, I'm already seeing the negative lines, I can see Jesus Christ, is she really saying this? I'll keep quiet, because I believe you don't actually want to listen. You are just do you get? And that point to be validating feelings. Acknowledge emotions. It is okay to be sad. You're not flogging me because I am crying. Why? It is okay to recognize and validate your child's feelings. They should learn that it is okay to validate them whenever they are happy, whenever they are sad, even whenever they are frustrated. It is okay to say things like, it is okay for you to feel like that. It is okay for you to feel that way. It helps us understand, okay, that even our own emotions are normal. Because if I'm sad for a very long time, if I'm sad first day, second day, and it is already becoming a problem to my mom, I start to feel like I'm a problem. So if you can validate my feelings, validate my emotions, tell me that it is okay to feel that way. Subsequently, I get out of it. And some parents don't like to share their own emotions. If a child sees a mom that also cries. I'm not saying cry, but a child sees a mom that also cries. You know that it is also okay for you to cry. It is also okay for you to be sad on some days. If your mom is the perfect picture rather of a very strong woman, and then you are a person who constantly has issues, you will not be able to relate to your mom, not be able to talk to her, because if my mom does not go through these things, why am I going through them? So modeling emotional openness, it can encourage kids to express themselves. You get parents and guardians, parents and guardians should learn to share their feelings in a constructive way, so that just in a way to demonstrate to us that, okay, it is okay to talk about your emotions. Now, I would say promoting healthy routines, establish routines, set regular times. I practically live a routine life. Let me put it like that. The only time when I don't follow my routines is when I want to sleep. I might already plan that, okay, I want to read within this hour to this hour, but then I fall asleep. But if parents plan things like, okay, meal time is by this time, homework time, bedtime, that way it helps students also learn how to manage their time, and they don't feel so much pressure. Because if you are coming straight from school, the academic pressure is already on you. You are coming back home.
Yeah.
You are not resting. There is no set time for you to rest. There's no set time for you to eat. The entire stress of the day would be so weighing on you. And parents should also learn to encourage physical activity. Go outside. Physical activity, your physical health is closely linked to your mental health. If you're not okay mentally, you might not be okay physically. Same goes for if you're not okay physically, you might not be okay mentally. So encouraging outdoor events, just go outside, family activities. Sometimes you might not even be sad. You just need to be with your family and be active with your family. So that way it promotes the movement. Let me just put it like that. Just to wrap it up, parents should also learn how to teach coping skills, encourage mindfulness, encourage deep breathing, problem-solving abilities, problem-solving skills, because it helps your children to learn confidence and resilience, how to bounce back from things. So, okay, I said I was going to be the last one, but creating a safe space. Please don't be judgmental. Ensure that the home is a place where children feel safe to express their thoughts and encourage expression. So thank you very much. And
thank you so much.
Be involved in your children's lives. Be involved in their friends' life. Be involved in their lives. So thank you very much. I hope I've answered
Thank you so much, Flourish. Thank you so much. Do we have more time?
Just like 2 minutes more.
Okay, 2 minutes. So I have just one question, please. Let's just answer in, like, if you can answer in 60 seconds. Based on what Flourish said, following a routine. Does following a routine do more good than or it does more harm than good? Because personally, for me, I do not like following routines. I feel pressured because let's say I have to do something by so time and I'm doing something right now and I know I can't beat that deadline. I start panicking. I start having anxiety, thinking, oh my God, I have something that I need to beat and I'm not getting to that point. So my question is to you, Flourish, and also if Lucky and Lucy have more things to back up the stuff, but for you, Flourish, you mentioned routine. Do you think routine does more good than or more harm than good, especially in youth?
Okay, so I'll be speaking from my own perspective.
Please, just 60 seconds. Just answer.
Like I said, I'm a student. I'm currently writing the exams. Now, if I don't plan routines, I get lazy. And not because I want to be lazy, but because my body might be tired, my brain might be tired, which is what we're talking about when we say mental health. Now, I might be mentally drained. But if I don't set these routines for myself, I would not do anything. I would just want to rest and feel better. So for me, for myself, and I might also be speaking for a few other young people, routines help. Not all the time, but routines actually help. It's just a way to maintain the balance. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Lucy, do you have anything to add up to that? Lucy?
Please, could you repeat the question?
Okay, so I was asking, I'm following a routine. Does it do more harm than good or more good than harm? Like following a routine, having a schedule, scheduling your day-to-day life and everything.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Could you please repeat again? I'm so sorry.
Following a routine, does it do more good than harm, or it does more harm than good?
To me, it is relative. It's very important to have a routine, especially when you have goals you want to achieve. But then the brain is such that it needs to constantly be stimulated in certain ways. And if you have a routine that stops you from stimulating your brain, that becomes a problem. But if you have a routine that within it, there are bits for what's the word? Not having repetitive things, and like the last speaker spoke, it's very important to take breaks because burnout is real, mental stress is real, and you become counterproductive when you give yourself an ultimatum to say every day I must do this thing and you are unable to do it. Your body, your mind will get tired at some point. So routines are very important, but it's very good that in that your routine there should be a balance. That's
Okay.
what I would say.
All right. Thank you so much. Lucky, do you have something to add to that? Like, Lucky.
Yes, please, I'm on.
Okay, do you have anything to add to the question?
Not really. I think I
Alright.
spoke a lot on that issue.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lucky. Thank you so much, Lucy and Flourish, for your wonderful and educative conversation and discussion that we had. I learned a lot. I don't know about other people, but I did learn a lot. So thank you so much. So yeah, what's next?
All right. Thank you so much, Henrietta. I think we can call it an evening today. Unless anyone has any questions, if anyone has any questions before we round up, you can either raise up your hand or you can write your question in the chat room. If there are any questions at all, let's wait for like 30 seconds. Okay, I'm not sure if there are any questions, but I would like to thank the entire Session 19. This was such an insightful conversation, being able to hear the different insights on mental health amongst youth and for everyone, because I think we've come to the end of the 3-day event. So I'd like to thank you guys for being the last people to speak at this event. Thank you so much for your insights, and generally for anyone who'll be listening back to the recording. Thank you so much for your contributions over the past 3 days. It's been an honor to create this event for young people from different parts of the continent, and thank you so much. If you'd like to stay in touch with us, please feel free to follow our social media platforms, and we'll be back next year. There are a lot of events we're still going to plan, and hopefully we can get everyone here and more people on board for the events we'll be planning. So thank you so much, and we will see you very, very soon. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of your evening. Before we go, could we, if you can, kindly switch on your camera so we could just do a sort of virtual photograph. We had done one earlier, but just for this one now, if you can, very quickly. If you can switch on your camera, I'll just wait for more people's cameras to come on. I'm still waiting. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll work with this. All right. 3, 2, 1. Wait, let me do another one. Sorry. 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of your evening.
Is my camera being seen?
Yes, your camera is on.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back very soon. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.